So ran wide at turn 4 while the Aussie was leading. That allowed for Sato and Alonso to sweep through.
tes. Nah, panas nggak bakal wet sih. Ajim seduan masih langsung bahas sorry kenapa nggak penalti. Aku nggak nonton guys, aku habis dari luar, ini baru pulang nih. Nggak tahu ada kejadian apa, baru pulang soalnya. Dua kali quarter. Nggak tahu ya, aku nggak nonton soalnya. Nih tak ada highlight nih. Coba di highlight ada nggak nih? Anjing, coba Stephen jatuh. Wush, anjing high set cok. Nongkrong lah, mager ber, sibuk mana nggak ada guys. Ajak no yang lain coba kalau bisa ber. Pada sibuk anjing anak-anak. Tahun depan aja, tahun depan ini bukber tahun depan. Nongkrong pas bukber doang anjing. Tai oh nggak ada guys, keluar tracknya guys, udah beres guys. Satu kali doang keluar juga udah ada penalti ya. Cuman tergantung keluar tracknya itu ada orang yang bikin dia keluar track atau keluar track sendirian atau kayak gimana. Kalau kena dari orang lain ya, efek dari orang lain ya nggak kena penalti mau berapa kali pun. Kalau kayak kena dive bomb gitu nggak masalah guys, nggak bakal kena penalti. Nongkrong setahun sekali. Ya manusianya pada sibuk nih. Jadi di last lap nggak tahu, nggak nonton soalnya. Ntar kita coba lihat di Twitter ada apa. Soalnya kejadiannya Martin juga yang di Thailand juga nggak kena long lap penalty kan, padahal dia udah kena track limit warning. Itu aja nggak long lap loh. Ya mungkin ada kasus-kasus tertentu supaya kasus-kasus tertentu rider itu nggak kena long lap. atau drop position. Harus baca regulasinya lagi. Aku ada sih regulasi itu di filenya di komputer, cuman nggak tahu nih pasal yang mana. Gain and enjoy your stream, thank you Pir. Yang gain and advantage atau yang mana? Banyak soalnya regulasinya tuh, halaman-halamannya. Harusnya tadi aku sambil ambil sepatu dulu ya. Panas. Musiknya damai banget, yoi. Judulnya aja malam tenang guys. Agak lain itu Alonso guys. Di rumahku hujan ya, bentar lagi nih hujan gede nih. Udah ada geluduk-geluduk nih. Dia rookie ya. Rookie ya. Rookie enggak sih ya? Aku lupa. rugi sih harusnya. Ayam gepuk. Kasihan Beko ya. Kemarin jatuh gara-gara pressure dari market kan. Tahun kedua nggak sih? Aku lupa. Nggak terlalu merhatiin dia soalnya. Tahun kedua kayaknya. Aku lupa. Matiin kalau posisi 1 ya tergantung Peko di mana. Kalau Peko posisi 3 Jurdun. Jadi Peko kalau mau aman tuh harus satu posisi di belakangnya Martin. Harus di belakangnya Martin persis. Telat push up 10 kali. Ada kali cedera kalau nggak salah. Terus dia kemungkinan tuh gini, jadi Aldegar itu kan kena penalti kan dia, kena long penalti orang salah. Nah untuk 2 race ini kayaknya tuh dia tuh nggak ikut, kemungkinan besar dia nggak ikut kan. Last race besok tuh kemungkinan besar dia nggak ikut. Nah kemungkinan Aldegar itu first race di Motogp langsung kena long penalti. Sumpah, first race Motogp dia langsung kena long lap penalti. Tapi nggak tahu bakal dapet nggak atau kena pemutihan gitu, aku nggak tahu sih. Tapi kemarin jurnalis di Twitter tuh pada bilang ini Fermin musim depan di Motogp first race langsung kena long lap penalti nih gitu. Iya nyangkut kan, soalnya dia nggak ikut di last race. Kemungkinan besar last race dia nggak ikut di Barcelona, Catalunya. Iya lagi first race-nya di Thailand juga lagi. Firman tapi nggak tahu ya bakal ada pemutihan atau nggak. Tapi sejauh ini sih pemutihan itu kadang-kadang ada sih. Catalunya ya, Carmelo Esperata bilang yang sangat-sangat memungkinkan sebagai penggantinya Valencia itu Catalunya. Cuman rada-rada Spanyol ini rada-rada apa ya, nggak mau lah di sana, nggak mau di Spanyol. Soalnya mereka nggak enak kan last race. Terus kalau misalkan mereka party di sana kena last race nggak enak karena masih di daerah Spanyol kan. Apalagi Martino yang mau juara dunia kan, masa dia nggak bisa selebrasi anjing. Tapi ya mau gimana lagi, kayaknya nggak ada opsi lain sih selain Catalunya. Nah kuat banget ini di mana Lika nggak ada yang nonton tuh kayaknya tuh. Mandalika kayaknya nggak ada yang nonton nggak sih Mandalika? Oh ya fix, ya itu fix kan bener. Emang pasti di Spanyol sih, susah kalau keluar Spanyol guys. Jarak 2 minggu soalnya. Kalau masih berbulan-bulan sih bakal dicariin kemana-mana guys. Jadi kan ada opsi Qatar kan sebenarnya. Cuman akhirnya Catalunya. Oliver cedera lagi guys. Rider yang paling gak hoki Oliveira. Sembuh cedera lagi, sembuh cedera lagi, sembuh cedera lagi. Rest kena tubruk mulu. Nah, Oliveira tuh gak hoki dah. Makanya digantiin sama Sawadori kan. Oliveira. Ntar aja habis Moto tuh, aku juga masih makan. Ntar kita lihat yang Alonso itu. Iya, apa kabar? Baik, udah surgery dan sukses. Dia udah upload tuh di IG. Day 0 after surgery. Anjing. Jalannya 1 Mir 2 Mari 3. Tiga menit lagi, aku belum selesai. Loh, kok belum beres lagi? Ini gimana ya? 4 menit guys. Siapa di sini yang rumahnya sudah banyak penduduk? Aku siapa? Rumahku udah duduk nih. Udah gelap banget nih. Udah kayak lagi malam, Sob. Cuaca di rumahku mau hujan. Di rumahku mau hujan, tapi di sininya cerah, sangat-sangat cerah. Prediksi cuacanya sih hujan ya, cuman ya sih semoga aja kayak Thailand kayak kemarin tiba-tiba hujan. Ya.
Qualifying yesterday at turn 8, 12th on the grid for Dixon, his lowest qualifying in 6 since the San Marino Grand Prix.
Navarro pernah di World Super Sport loh guys, jangan salah guys. Oke, Navarro pernah di World Super Sport loh. Cuman emang dulu dia di Moto tuh memang pakai grade ini kalau nggak salah dulu itu pernah. Habis itu pindah ke World Super Sport yang 600.
And on the front row of the grid. What about the two American racing riders then? Marcos Ramirez, can he make it back-to-back podiums here from second place in Sepang? But for just the 6th time in his Grand Prix career, for just the 5th time in Moto2, first time in 5 years, Hoy Navarro starts from pole.
Ini race-nya kayaknya ya TTA sih. Ini America Racing. Kalau Mandalika kayaknya enggak sih. Pokoknya Dora juga mentingin duit guys. Kalau di Mandalika sepi juga mereka nggak mau guys biasanya. Oh ya, Denis Foggia juga katanya ini guys pindah ke Moto3 guys, turun kayak Adi Gilang dulu. Jadi musim depan Foggia ke Moto3 pakai Aspartim. Linknya kakak nonton GP LOL tuh. Nonton GP LOL lah, ngapa turun dia nggak tahu. Kabarnya sih turun ya, cuman belum resmi. Halo Lance, gue pengganti sedikit Valencia kata lo ya. Kayaknya nggak hoki dah ya dari Moto2, sama kayak Bulega nggak hoki kayaknya. Pokoknya nggak kompetitif ya. Dulu Jurdun ya. Dan itu musim ketiganya ya. Tiganya Foggia kalau nggak salah ini. Apa aku lupa? Apa aku salah? Aku lupa.
find his way back to the top step of the podium since that San Marino Grand Prix.
Karena beda Moto2 sama Moto2 tuh. Moto3 itu jauh lebih gampang gitu loh. Jadi Moto2 tuh biasanya lebih ngandelin skill guys.
He has been super consistent throughout this campaign as the 23-year-old
pintar juga.
Japanese rider. There is your championship picture, only 50
Tak musim depan kemana? Tetap di BMW. Ini mau kemana dia? MotoGP. Toprak bisa ke MotoGP kalau BMW masuk ke MotoGP udah itu. Dia kalau mau masuk ke Ducati, pabrikan, Honda, Yamaha susah guys, pasti susah.
Calex's domination, the first rider to come through the Asia Talent Cup promotion system. Of course, Agura cutting his teeth on the Grand Prix stage in the Asia Talent Cup a few years ago. First graduate though that's gone on to be crowned a Grand Prix world champion. A great success story for the very successful.
Bentar lagi Joko Jandares nih, rumah aku nih.
Gonzalez actually starts behind our new world champion Agura, the Spanish rider, winner of the Japanese Grand Prix. He's 8th place on the grid ahead of Diogo Moreira, who once again has caught the eye. He's been by far the standout rookie so far in 2024, hasn't he, Moreira? Although he hasn't found a podium. Qualified top 10 in 10 of 18 rounds. 5th place last time out in Buram as well. Another very strong performance from the Sao Paulo star.
Prediksi gue bener nggak bang? Prediksi apaan? Memang ada pembalap USBK langsung MotoGP? Ada kalau nggak salah, Calcatro, James Torsland. Aduh siapa dulu ya? Ben Spies? Ada? Halo kok? Torsland dulu pernah USBK bukan ya? Tapi saya tahu kok Ben Spies.
Can he maybe just put a little bit of a cherry on top of the cake with one more victory in our final 2 Grand Prix of the season? The green flag then is cleared at the back. An American Racing 1-2 on the grid.
Semoga aja poin, amin. Ramirez tadi bagus banget anjing. Ala.
Agura then it is that's going to take second place here behind the fast starting front row starter of Celestino Vietti.
Shades of Barcelona that, wasn't it, for Agura? Was no interest in going along the right hand side of the
race. Tiba-tiba pertama tuh Vietti anjir.
Went right around the outside and he's emerged out of turn 1 in second place.
Running a bit wide there through turn 3 was the Czech rider Filip Salac, starting inside the top 10 for only the 3rd time this year. He's coming under pressure I think from Barry Baltas, Arbolino as well. Elfmark Vidas.
Alah, berapa anjir? 23 coba aja. 23.
Of Guevara, they're battling for 6th and 7th. Guevara has gained 4 places from where he started. His teammate Jake Dixon has also made progress up the order. He's just ahead of Diogo Moreira. No progress so far though for Connect back deep in the field. He's actually lost a place.
Yes, 2-2, let's go.
He's built a lead of nearly 6/10 of a second already as the field now attack into turn. Now look at the gap that Vietti has already pulled on Agura in second place. Ramirez desperate trying to
Farah. Oh, bukan ning. Siapa yang jatuh nih? Ajazz. Apa itu surat? Kalah cowok Ajazz sama Asman. Helmi Asman bukan sih? Helmi Asman kan namanya. Berarti nggak ada Valencia test dong? Nggak ada. Formula E juga tadinya di Valencia test nih hari Senin. Cuman nggak jadi dipindah ke Madrid. Formula E tesnya Sonta juga jatuh. Ajazz juga jatuh. Jadi banyak banget anjir yang jatuh. Wah anjing, Vietti enak banget cowok. Vietti enak banget. Oh ini aja harus ngejadarin binder anjir. Ison Guevara coy, 4 coy Ison Guevara. rider Jurdun yang selalu San Mori guys. 4 guys sekarang guys. Kita cuci tangan. Cuci tangan bentar.
Somehow is still running. He's in 8th place. Then it's Dixon and Arbolino in 10th. Dixon on the inside and Unchu also through. And Gonzalez hung out to dry and loses 2 places.
Well, he was box office in Moto3, wasn't he? The number 53 of Dennis Onju. He is bringing the show to Sepang in Moto2. He's a bit leery, but he's great and spectacular to watch. Is the Turk. He's there on the 53 bike, just in behind Albert Arenas at the moment in 7th place. Gonzalez has just got through on Dixon for 8th spot. Quick check on the lead. Vietti has seen, well, he's lost 4/10 of a second in sector 2 compared to Ramirez. Dixon dive bombs on the inside of Gonzalez into turn 9. It's very feisty further back behind Vietti right now, isn't it?
Yeah, Vietti's just got some peaceful tranquility at the front of the field, but it's all kicking off behind as Gonzalez is getting beaten up big time on this second lap. Arbolino now goes through. Just behind them is Moreira, and then it's Aaron Canet, who is starting to make some progress now. He's into 12th place. The good news for Canet is that his battle for second in the championship is with Sergio Garcia, who is still 6 places behind him.
A moment there for Arbolino, and that's allowing Gonzalez to sweep through. Arbolino looked like he took the front going through turn 14. We heard from his crew chief Lucho de Castro before the Grand Prix saying they've been suffering with a lack of edge grip. Well, case in point right there, Exhibit A from Tony Arbolino. He does though find a way back through on Gonzalez, who's now getting duffed up by Diogo Moreira into that final corner, turn 15. So there is Arbolino, Moreira, who both have been able to find a way back through on Gonzalez. Quickest rider in circuit, no great surprise, with clear air and clear track ahead of him is Vietti at 2:05.898, has seen him re-establish that 1.4 second lead over Ramirez.
Yeah, and it's Agura in 3rd. Guevara is looking particularly racy in that chase group as well. He's now running in 4th. Navarro, the
Habis cuci tangan.
5th place as some calm finally starts to descend on this race. Then you can see in the back of the picture, Arenas and Unchu are battling each other. Unchu on the 53 bike in 7th from Dixon, Arbolino and Diogo Moreira. Vietti and Ramirez, the only 2 riders on that second lap who are in the 205s.
Well, we often labelled him in Moto3 in a very nice way, a kind, complimentary way. Dennis the
Ini kenapa ya?
So far, hasn't he?
Kayak seribet ngeflickering gitu loh.
Moto2 battle. There is Vietti then. Once again, Vietti suffering. I just wonder where it's like.
Bang, tanggapan bang. Bang, tanggapan bang. Ya udah aja. Emang harus apa? Harus gimana? Tuh, ngeflickering lagi. Hujan, kemungkinan besar hujan, soalnya di rumahku hujan.
Yeah, further down, Somkiat Chantras 14th, Alonso Lopez, those two have just got through on Barry Baltus at the tail end of the points going places right now.
Dixon wide.
Yeah, Dixon went wide and Gonzalez then pounces, so there's an Arenas on the 75 bike, not exactly a lot of love lost between them.
Bisa. Harus agresif tapi harus mimpin balapan. Terus Martin jatuh. Enggak gitu. Yang penting di depannya Martin.
To sweep straight back on through. Vietti at the front then at the end of lap 3 of 17. 1.1 seconds clear of Marcos Ramirez after the early skirmish with Sura and Ajazz. Zonta van den Goorberg has decided to call it quits. He has just pitted.
That's Connect then trying to go around the outside, running a little hot into turn 1. He's up behind the...
Ya makanya turn 1-nya harus nempel itu turn 1-nya.
Do much trading either with that injured shoulder, so fatigue may be an issue more than tires as this
bagus, yuk nempel terus, tempelin binder sama Baltus.
lap 3, all of them comfortably in the 206s. The quickest of that quintet was Arbolino, a 206.310. In fact, Arbolino was faster than Vietti on that previous lap, not by much, but just gives you an indication of the kind of speed that Arbolino has now got, having recovered from that big slide he had at turn 14 a couple laps ago.
So Vietti's lead continues to hover around that 1 second mark. Didn't lose quite the same.
Kalau finish top 5, kalau finish top 5 matiin P3 bisa gitu udah kunci gelar belum. Yang penting tuh jaraknya nggak lebih dari 9 poin. Nggak lebih dari 8 poin. Kalau misalkan matiin 3 berapa? 16 poin. 5 berapa? 16, 13, 11 poin belum. Harus lebih dari 8 poin. Kalau kurang dari 8 poin masih belum bisa. Terus bakal di Catalunya nggak? Kayaknya iya. Harusnya sih kalian.
Have happened on the very first lap. On board then with Gonzalez, trying to attack with his Grazini, a colleague, Arenas. See a bit of vibration there, chatter on the front of Arenas as he tips into turn 15. They'll now get the power on, pick up the drive grip. Vietti's advantage is shrinking.
Iyalah, batal lah. Masa dari Catalunya Seninnya langsung, masa pulang dari Catalunya langsung ke Valencia sih, nggak mungkin juga lah. Wish, hampir ya. Nggak mungkin kayak gitulah. Cuy gasnya hilang. Nggak jatuh, kayaknya ngelebar lah.
The left-hand side of your screens. Garcia started this lap in 17th place. He's lost 3 spots already. Garcia back down to 20th now.
Ajazz 19 boys. Makan semuanya. Yoi. Wet. Soalnya try race bakal kayak sprint kayak kemarin. Sendiri-sendiri tuh pasti. Lihat aja ntar. Gak bakal seru.
He's starting from the head of that third row of the grid in the shade of 7th place, and he just starts motoring towards the front, starts clicking through the gearbox on that Triumph 765cc 3-cylinder engine, and he's almost into the lead. In fact, he's side by side, isn't he, with Vietti and Ramirez when they both, or all three of them, hit the brakes. He was briefly up from 7th to 2nd there, was Agura. Further back then, are we going to see what happened? We are, that's well the sort of back end of it.
Aji harus lagi-lagi harus ngindar tuh dari sini. Ya, kesalip lagi Aji sama Garcia. Wah, ente nih Aji kalau mau dapet poin jauh banget. Pindah ke Alcoba.
Everybody able to pick their way safely through, thankfully. Battle, pretty good battle this, raging for 4th place between our pole starter Hoy Navarro and
Yamaha bagus di track-track tertentu doang sih. Gak di semua track mereka bagus. Tapi memang tar rekornya Yamaha bagus. Musim lalu juga bagus. Aji dapat 4 poin, bagus loh itu.
That left shoulder is weak. That left shoulder is lacking strength. That left shoulder is nowhere near fully recovered, and already potentially is that.
Lo ngikutin Evan juga nggak terlalu ngikutin bagian teknologinya. Kalau balapannya gitu-gitu ngikutin, tapi kalau perkembangannya itu enggak, susah. Yamaha V4. Hampir jatuh lagi. Iya, V4 musim depan, rencananya sih musim depan ya. Cuman nggak tahu bakal bakal terlaksana atau enggak. Katanya sih pertengahan musim 2025 besok udah bisa dipakai V4-nya, cuman ya let's see. Terusnya beda dong, kan ini roda 2 ya, mereka roda 4. Tapi nggak yakin bisa langsung bagus sih. Udah mulai klik ini guys, Guevara 1,5 musim dia pakai dia San Mori loh. Setelah sekian lamanya San Mori dia kalah cepet sama Sergio Garcia. Apa 2 musim lebih ya? Ya kalau udah jadi, kalau nggak belum jadi ya ente. Ya mungkin tahun depannya lagi, 2026 nya paling. Sekaligus kembangin yang 2027. Bisa-bisa aja sih musim depan. Tapi harus jadi anjir. Terlalu optimistik sih.
That's Guevara. Just looks like he's getting just dropped a little bit here, doesn't he, on the 28 bike, because he was right on the rear tyre of Navarro when we were on board with Agura coming through turn 15. So it looks like there's been a mistake potentially from Guevara, or is the pace at the front just too hot for him to handle?
Navarro has a look on Agura into turn 9. That corner doesn't exactly have great memories for the Moto2.
Dulu di Motogp belum masang aku. Moto3, Moto2 belum masang. Atau bahkan nggak masang sama sekali. Nggak sempet. Bagus kah Aji ya. Dia bisa ngikutin Binder, Valtes, Garcia aja udah bagus loh. Nggak punya ekspektasi lebih sih Kak Aji. Begini aja udah bagus. Di sisi lain juga ngembangin buat dia memang. Butuh duit banyak itu tuh. Kan Yamaha nggak kena apa engine freeze ya, mereka kan nggak kena freeze tuh Yamaha, jadi harusnya mereka Yamaha sama Honda harusnya bisa buat ngembangin motor. Kalau yang lain kan kayak KTM, Aprilia, Ducati, KTM kan nggak bisa ngembangin lebih kan karena kena engine freeze.
Of course, the pace when Vietti set the fastest lap on lap 2, he was doing high 2:05s. They now all down into the 2:07s. Even the fastest rider on track last time around, which was Iagura in third, did a 2:07 flat. So already real signs of this race pace dropping off.
Ramirez aggressive on that change of direction as they came through 5 and 6. Big tweaks there. He's been very aggressive. He's really throwing that American racing Calyx machine around this 5.5 km Sepang circuit. This stage the Grand Prix, they'd already feel like they've been out there for 70 laps, not 70. Scorching hot conditions. From a long way back comes Navarro.
Anjay.
He's going to go wide, but he'll have the inside line now.
Ini Ogura udah nothing tulus sih sebenarnya, udah juara dunia juga anjir. Gokil. Iya pernah, Navarro pernah di speed up, pernah juga di kiri sini kalau nggak salah dia pernah juga. Tapi ini emang rider mediocre sih guys, bukan rider yang bagus-bagus banget. Di Pons Racing juga pernah dia, Pons Racing sebelum bangkrut. Pons Racing sebelum bangkrut. Corobet, iya Corobet cedera, digantiin sama Navarro.
excessively hot conditions. Vietti at the moment is coping pretty well. Half a second.
Sektor 4 yellow flag, pindah. Lumayan naik ke posisi, let's go 19. Ya makanya Navarro tuh bukannya bagus-bagus banget ya sebenarnya. Jadi World Super Sport kan, World Super Sport 600 dia.
Just slotting in behind the two American racing machines. Jake Dixon is now creeping closer towards his Aspar teammate Ethan Guevara. Dixon took half a second out of the Spaniard.
Tadi udah pasti rain ya? Enggak. Panas-panas begini, rain dari mana ini? Susah nih hujan, panas banget. Nyari dia bentar lagi nih, ke Ramirez nih. Set, break. Ya anjing. Rider pengganti guys. Gila. Bisa P1 kah? Bisa P1 kah?
Turn 12 and 13, all action, all aggression right now, isn't he? Navarro, he's got the bit between his teeth here. He senses he's got a cracking chance of winning this Sepang Grand Prix. He's now just under half a second behind your race leader Vietti.
We've referenced his 2019 season a lot.
Oh, gua kesalip bentar lagi. Arbolon juga bakal nyalip Onco nih bentar lagi.
This is Moto2 start number 109 for the ultra experienced Spaniard.
Aji ke Platus jauh lagi. Setengah detik kan kayaknya ya. Ya nggak sih guys? Ramirez udah nggak drop.
Vietti has responded once again. He's able to just bridge that gap to nearly 7/10 of a second. Back into low 207s.
Lagi fase slap susah sih. Ya kan kesalip. Onco.
Clinging on to successive podiums here in Sepang. They power through this brilliant turn 3. Now this is where you're really going to have to be careful on the throttle. This is where you could be encountering some speed limiting wheel spin through turn 3. A climb up the hill then now on the brakes into turn 4. Gura now all over the self-styled captain Andalusia.
Makanya bener Dixon nyalip. Terlalu mudah ini guys, nebak-nebak gini. Susah ini Aji. 19 udah bagus sih.
Come into this podium battle. Dixon was in the 206s on that last lap, and he was the only rider on the circuit who can say that. So Jake Dixon is now beginning to
iya.
showing that he's still got plenty to race for, even though the World Championship has already won, as he takes third from Ramirez.
Kita kekejar loh ini sama Navarro anjir. Wah, Navarro win kah? Makanya susah banget buat hujan ini.
Tire preservation, one of his real weapons. That was close. It was very, very tight, wasn't it? He was coming through there whether Ramirez liked it or not.
Ramirez certainly wouldn't have liked that because he's now been relegated out of the podium positions. Just keeping a track on the sector times. Navarro has closed in again.
Weh, Dixon juga Dixon tiba-tiba ngejar anjir.
In half, started the lap at 6/10. It is now 3/10 of a second, and
nggak ada aman ini Navarro nih. Bentar lagi nyalip nih. Dixon juga bisa podium ini.
207.3 from Vietti, bettered by some distance with a 207.
Pada di belakang itu guys, Lopez kenet, Cancela no, Cancela 12, Canet 11, Arenas 13, Lopez 15, Garcia 17. Let's go 4. Bisa kali yuk.
he was shaping up to make a move into turn 4, just in the back of the picture, and he did make
Oh, dapat nih.
consecutive laps now that Dixon has made the move.
Dapetin Navarro nih.
Oh, Navarro is threatening now a move for the lead. Vietti's spell at the lead looks like it's now on borrowed time.
Yeah, Navarro has got the superior speed at this stage of this Grand Prix. They power through turn 8. Navarro's been really good. Very strong on the brakes here in turn 9. Not close enough to attack Vietti on this particular occasion. Just has to bide his time here. He knows he is much faster at this stage than Vietti. He has just got to play the game. Bide your time, and he will hit the front surely in this Malaysian Grand Prix.
Because he wants to make a
Ogura hilang.
in case Ogura and Dixon start to close in on him in that group further back. Yellow flag
Crash.
come out again in the third sector. We're waiting for a name to drop down the order on the left-hand side of your
Iya hilang.
Ogura's name has dropped down. Is he out of this leading group? We'll take him up. He is.
Problem.
World champion.
Problem guys.
Well, there is going to be no
Problem apa jatuh? Kayak problem gitu, dia kayak nggak jatuh gitu loh.
Having got through Marcos Ramirez, he was going to start charging towards Vietti and Navarro.
Untung udah juara dunia Ogura.
Sepang bites Ogura pretty hard once again. 2 years ago in 2022.
Nggak jatuh kayaknya.
Well, so close to clinching the Moto2 World Championship 2 years ago when he crashed out while fighting with a victory.
Kayaknya ada problem dah dia. Nggak tahu sih, bisa gearbox sih bisa. Pas keluar dari turn 9 tuh, pas dem ke kanan tuh kayak berhenti gitu motornya. Dulu juga jatuh tuh di situ tuh, turn 9 tuh dulu. Bodoh. Waktu 2 tahun yang lalu tuh. Penentuan juara dunia malah jatuh di situ. Let's go podium. Yes. Giveaway nih bos. P3, let's go.
Gap between Vietti and Navarro, where you can now see it's really closed up as Dixon aggressive on that change of direction, just gets that bit of a.
Si Poncari tabrak turun berapa? 9, 10, 11. Ya, 11. Masih belum loh. Anjing.
You can see the chatter on Vietti's front tyre there as he really did grab a handful of front brake to try and keep Navarro at bay. Navarro, 113th Moto2 star. He has never won in the Moto2 World Championship, but it is game on here for the Spaniard.
Well, of course, I said earlier on, Navarro essentially has very little to lose at this point now. Does he suddenly realise what he has to fight for and what he has to win? He's never won a Moto2 race, as you say, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, given that he was a substitute rider,
Dixon podium. Dixon podium. Udah lumayan 0,2an lah paling. Ke Ramirez, Guevara. Dixon podium. Shalololololo. Dixon podium.
7.464 sideways again. How on earth is that Pirelli front tire hanging in there underneath Celestino Vietti? Because he's giving an absolute pounding on the brakes.
Dia emang udah tua dia. Susah sih naik Motogp itu. Mesin depan kan Mark VDS dia. Bagus, tim yang lebih bagus deh. Mark VDS.
The gap now back up to over 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, the gap we're keeping an eye on too now is the gap between Navarro and Dixon, who runs third. Dixon did a 2:07.2 on the last lap.
Nah, ini dia.
What happened potentially to Ogura coming out of
Tuh kan. Hampir ya. Kan tiba-tiba mogok guys. Tiba-tiba mati mesinnya. Oh ya anjir. Mati motornya. Motornya mati. Motornya mati tiba-tiba.
The last thing Jake Dixon was expecting there was for Ogura to check up right in front of him with that mechanical problem. You have to say the cat might reflex.
Belum ganti, oh ini turun mesin ya dia. Turun mesin. MC helmet turun mesin guys. Coba Aji berapa sih detiknya? Berapa detik? Dekat aja sama Baltus. Emang dekat? Oh iya dekat 0,2. Tapi Baltus ke Stereo Garcia jauh. Ya lumayan lah kalau bisa lihat Baltus. Bagus 17. Ya udah nggak jauh lagi anjir. Vietti ini udah nih menang nih. Itu jauh banget cowok. 0,7 loh. Garcia nyari peselat. Knet Gonzales Arenas nyalip. Padahal belum fit. Kacauan dulu boleh. Oh belum fit ya Vietti. Gokil. Sama kayak DJ nggak sih? Nggak. DJ mah 0 skill guys, jangan banding-bandingin dengan DJ guys. DJ ini 0 skill guys. Render 0 skill yang tidak diakui kecepatannya guys DJ guys. Mister Tato. Mister Tato. Tanya sekarang kencangan. Iya emang lebih kencang Bosco memang. Makanya Mark VDS musim depan pakai Bosco tuh. Setelah sekian lamanya pakai Kalex, ganti dia pakai Bosco. Soalnya Bosco menjanjikan banget performanya. Tinggal pilotnya aja yang bisa bawanya atau enggak. Waktu awal-awal musim kan keren banget tuh. Bosco tuh kayak Alonso Lopez, Fermin deket-deketan. Fantech bukannya Bosco ya? Fantech bukan deh. Bagus tapi tetap bagus. Ya yang juara dunia aja pakai Bosco. Balik lagi ke pilotnya juga sih. Kalau pilotnya nggak bisa ya percuma tuh. Alonso Lopez 14. Kalau nggak dapet pace percuma guys. Hampir ya. Ini kayak Augusto Fernandez ya kan. Timpang banget performanya sama Pedro, sama Binder, sama Miller tuh. Balik lagi ke pilotnya. Ih, dapat. Oke, kayak Aji. Wih, Aji bagus loh ini 18. Lebih bagus daripada Masia loh. Masia yang juara dunia aja kalah sama Aji. Bagus ini Aji loh. Ya memang masih ada yang lebih bagus kayak Onco yang model, tapi Aji ini hitungannya udah bagus guys. Improve-nya kelihatan banget ya kalau kalian merhatiin sih. Kalau aku sih merhatiin improve-nya dia kelihatan banget. Dari yang biasanya stuck di 25, 23, 20, 21, 22. Lap tambah hancur, berantakan awal-awal musim. Tapi sekarang muncul 18, 19, 17. Ya walaupun 0 poin ya, tapi itu improvement yang harus kita apresiasi sih. Gila. Rider kita nih bos, Aji bos. Tinggal nunggu waktu aja buat battle di 15, 12 gitu. Silverstone untuk nyentuh 12 loh. Gak ada yang nyangka dia bisa nyentuh 12 loh. Cuman sayangnya jatuh aja. Unlucky, tapi itu udah nunjukin buat dia kalau dia tuh bisa fight di sekitar posisi segituan. What a mindset guys, what a mindset. Ya mana headset anjir. Ya ente lah, lu rezekinya. Ingat guys, Gusti Allah mboten sare guys. ada saatnya nanti Aji buat nyentuh posisi 10, nyentuh posisi 12, ngegantiin posisi yang kemarin dia jatuh, yang di Valencia, di Silverstone itu. Pasti bisa, percaya aja. Yang penting gak nyebarin rumor Aji masuk Motogp sih. Oh depan, gak harus sih sebenarnya. Kalau buat aku sih yang penting tuh dia ada improvement aja, udah. Itu udah lebih daripada cukup sih. Gak harus top 10. Kata Melo. Vote a statement guys, statement yang gak perlu dikeluarkan guys itu guys. Dikeluarin loh statement itu. 2024 belum selesai udah nyebarin rumor 2026. 2025 belum mulai udah nyebarin begitu bang. Yain aja guys. Aja fotek bal tuh, let's go. 18 bos. Loh, kok masih nyalip? Lah, kok coba masih tiba-tiba nyalip? Dari mana anjir? Pas tadi jauh dah. Kok masih tiba-tiba ada di situ? Iya, Kemenpora, statementnya Kemenpora. What a statement ya. Gak perlu dikeluarin sebenarnya statement itu kan. Mana bilang resmi lagi, aduh. Ya, lah Dixon. Ya.
Jake Dixon has gone full Alicia Spargo, Barcelona in Motogp, hasn't he? Yeah, bike running fine now.
Enggak, dia lupa kayaknya. Hah?
Only Jake Dixon and those around him will know, or did Jake Dixon commit the card?
Apa hubungannya Menpora sama MotoGP lah? Lah kan dia yang bikin statement ya. Kenal aja kagak. Lah, dia yang bikin statement kayak gitu maksudnya. Lah, ya dia lupa, belum beres. Malah ngasih teammate-nya podium cok. Enggak kayak gitu sih kalau team order nggak kayak gitu guys. Izin podium anjing. Gara-gara Dixon. Anjir. Mbak Satari gimana bang? Ya statementnya nggak ada yang salah juga sih sebenarnya. Ya kita semua pengen lah ada rider MotoGP ada rider Indonesia di MotoGP. Bener, tapi nggak statement Aji di 2026 MotoGP tuh kayak kayak buat apa anjir? Menurut lu Martin bakal ngunci gelar di sini nggak bang? Nggak, kayaknya nggak sih. Peko tuh kemarin dia bikin kesalahan guys, di turn 9-nya tuh ada bump gitu, dia nyentuh itu terus itu yang bikin dia jatuh. Sektor 4. Sektor 4 apa guys? Alcoba 17, let's go. Yes, let's go 17.
and on the podium.
Yes,
Just the 11th
let's
time
go.
in Moto2. Ethan Guevara with a gift.
Yes,
And
17.
it's on a plate by his teammate
Lumayan,
Jake
lumayan.
Dixon. Miscounted the laps. Dixon's last lap was 2:10.206, 2.5 seconds slower than Ethan Guevara. That'll be a real tough one to take for Dixon. The inquest starts inside the CF Moto Aspar garage. What did happen there? The classification will read Guevara 3rd, Dixon 4th, Arbolino 5th, Ramirez in 6th place, top 10 for Owen Ducanet, Chantra and Moreira, the two Aspar teammates. This is over the line then. Out of the final corner we go. Jake Dixon now on the 96 bike behind Vietti and Ramirez. Sits up, and that is it. He thinks that is race over, game over.
Lupa dia kayak Alex.
Power past him at full racing speed. Let's listen to this then. On board with Dixon.
Koiso.
So there you go. Yeah, he realised it's too late, and then like full racing speed, can't quite believe his luck. Guevara streaks on through, and that last lap, Jake Dixon a 2:10.
Alah, bukan problem. Emang lupa aja.
Lightning dust strike twice then in the Grand Prix.
Iya sih, untung aja udah ngeca rekam Steam-nya anjir.
A couple of years ago for Paul de Lace Espargo, and he thought he got a podium in front of his home crowd in Barcelona.
Giveaway, the real giveaway guys, season Guevara guys.
Miscounted the lap.
The real giveaway anjing.
Still takes the checker flag
Lah,
in 4th place. He
bisa
was
begitu.
1.2 seconds behind Ethan Guevara.
Ya,
He's properly mucked it up in
manusia nggak sih guys ini guys? Manusia lah. Manusia tempatnya salah guys, tempatnya lupa guys.
Until today, his first Moto2 podium, for a couple of years for Jorge Navarro, whose bike has stopped on the celebratory lap. Just a measure once again.
Kalau nggak bisa ada yang nur. Kalau main bola itu ngomongnya iya bener emang kayak gitu. Betul begitu. MotoGP ya betul jam 2. Iya dikira ada finish. Makanya Mbak Satar kan ngomongnya itu kan pendapatnya dia kalau Aji ke MotoGP kan. Nyambung. Ya aku setuju sih sama ngomongnya Mbak Satar, setuju. Cuman ya aku agak menyayangkan aja sih, karena statement itu tuh nggak perlu dikeluarin menurutku. 2024 belum beres, 2025 belum mulai, sudah ada rumor 2026 tuh loh. Ya lihat aja ntar 2026 beneran nggak ada nggak, coba kita lihat aja. Apalagi aku concern ke arah, ya aku takut Aji tuh punya beban yang gede banget gitu loh di pundaknya dia, soalnya kan banyak banget orang-orang yang ekspektasiin lebih buat dia kan. Ya Haji rookie masa dibandingin sama Chancer yang udah menang sama podium, terus dia udah lebih dari 3 musim di Moto2 tuh loh, itu kan nggak masuk akal ya. Aku sering loh baca komen-komennya Haji loh, kayak ngelihat komen-komennya tuh kayak ngelus dada itu, kayak anjing orang-orang kenapa ya kalau nggak ngerti tuh diem aja nggak sih, daripada mengeluarkan statement yang akhirnya bikin orang lain punya beban gitu loh. Apalagi statement tolol gitu loh, yang aspun gitu. Tolol. Iya makanya 3 musim lebih, nggak salah dong 3 musim lebih. Ya emang kasihan banget. Makanya aku selalu bilang kan, ini tuh udah bagus loh. Aji tuh bisa finish 17, 16 tuh udah bagus loh. Udah ada improvement. Cuman orang-orang tuh ngeliat improvement aja ya dapat poin dan itu mereka nggak ngeliat elemennya gitu. Terus muncul lagi berita Aji 2026 resmi ke MotoGP itu kayak kayak takut nambah beban gitu loh.
trying to explain the late drama here then in Sepang. Vietti and Ramirez ahead of him. He has a good long look over his right shoulder and thinks that is it.
Apa nggak mikirin beban yang didapetin aja kali ya? Aku nggak ngerti sih.
Just even gives his team there a little bit of the signal with the clenched fist.
Kenapa tiba-tiba keluar kalimat itu tuh? King lari nih. Yo sama Vietti kan? Iya makanya biar nyari pengalaman dulu. Dia bisa ngalahin masih setara sama Sasaki gitu. Itu udah bagus loh. Waduh, King Suduk udah ganti kah? Udah pindah kah ke King Marbika? Kan sebelumnya King Suduk Marquez tuh.
By Ethan Guevara. Yeah, I think there might need to be a bit of an exclusion zone right now around Jake Dixon. Hoy Navarro eventually does make his way back to.
Kapan Aji bisa podium? Tahu. Musim ketiga atau musim keempat? Kalau masih lanjut di selama itu ya, kayaknya bisa sih harusnya. Ngelihat di Moto2 sekarang, musim pertama aja dia udah bisa begini loh.
What a weekend for Navarro. P1 in qualifying, P2 in the race.
Zifriend's there celebrating with Jorge. Of course, both live out in Andorra. I don't think there'll be many people, even potentially Joe Roberts, who will feel that could have been him. That's his bike that Navarro's on, but no one will have anything but joy for Jorge Navarro to see him back on the podium. Remember how his
Coba kita lihat.
career ended back in 2022. Didn't
Kita lihat Twitter.
due to an injury suffered in Phillip Island. But if
Besok depan Aspar David Alonso sama Dani Holgado ya bang. Yang P3. Besok depan Aspar tim David Alonso sama. Aku lupa Aspar tuh Alonso sama Izen tuh bukan ya? Aku lupa. Kayaknya apa nggak emang Holgado ya? Setauku Aspar. Loh, gue Farah sih kemana ya? Bentar. Coba kita buka IG-nya Aspar. Mogok motornya. Habis kali bensinnya. Coba kita lihat. Musim depan tuh David Alonso kan Moto2 sih F. Bang Holgado ya? Bukannya masih sama Izan? Setauku yang pergi cuman si Dixon. Udah gak ada lagi. Oh ya, cek aja Moto3 line up. Nah.
Of course, he was unfortunately not joined by teammate Carl Idan Power. Your race winner in Sepang. Win for Celestino Vietti. He's with Simon.
Celestino fresh back from injury, not fully recovered, not even.
Kan nih Dixon, McVDS sama Salak. RW, Sasaki. Nah, Fantech, Kalex, KTM, Vietti speed up sama Alonso Lopez, Mario Ajazz sama Yuki Kuni. Ini Pramak nih, kayaknya Arbolino di sini nih. Oh ya bener dari Holgado. Nah terus Ison Guevara sama siapa? Wah, Ison Guevara hilang loh. Nah masih ada di sini sih sebenarnya. Fantech bisa masuk. Ini juga bisa masuk nih. Tapi kayaknya nih, bentar, Arbolino belum masuk kan ya? Kayaknya ini Arbolino di sini nih. Iya paling. Ada Huertas nih atau Trans. Pojia pindah ke bawah. Ke ini kemana? Moto3. Ini kayaknya divisi sama David Munoz atau Dani Munoz. Motor Navarro ke ini guys.
little battle that was after the Vietti mistake. He did not commit another one after that though, did he?
Mogok tadi tuh motornya. Diparkirin.
Thereafter, this is on board with Vietti. Oh, that was so close to the end of that Sepang Grand Prix. Well, great to see him back at the front in Moto2. Pole position and second place here in Sepang to Jorge Navarro.
Jorge, what a dream comeback to Moto2. So good to have you here. It looked like you had the speed and that couple of laps.
Nih forecastnya hujan guys, tapi masih panas banget tuh loh. Highlight Moto3 ya, aku nggak bisa dong bayanginnya.
Yeah, huge congratulations indeed then to a runner-up here in Sepang, Jorge Navarro. He must have felt himself at one stage. We certainly did in the commentary box as he got onto Chilison Vietti's case late on that there was potentially a first Moto2 win in the offing for Navarro. Still showing though potentially that there's plenty more for him to offer at this level.
Mendung panas ya, mendung panas. Last lap kan? Mana?
Yeah, he's just ahead of the two Lupa in
like myself, so yeah, corners for Furasato. He drops in between Alonso to tops of Furasato on corner.
But we know that Furasato is surely on the brakes. He goes wide, can't brake late enough into turn 4 because David Alonso is so good on the brakes. He goes wide though.
He's knocked on the door a few times.
Itu satu tadi keluar.
Plow his way through it. He's got to find a way through though.
Of the race, Rueda probably ever so slightly too far back, but something
cuman satu kok.
Which might open the door for it.
Now then, it's all about the slipstream.
Oh itu.
Now then, it's all about the slipstream as Alonso has herself for second place.
Karena bentar, karena ini kayaknya bisa karena memang gak ada green pen sih guys. Karena emang gak ada green pen gak sih? Kayaknya karena gak ada green pen dah. Yang jadi penanda itu kena track limit gitu. Kayaknya karena itu sih. Soalnya nggak ada green pen, harusnya sih ini memang benar-benar harus true position aja. Tapi karena nggak ada green pennya jadi nggak dihitung long lap sih guys. Long lap atau true position sih. Kayaknya karena itu sih. Coba kita buka. Ntar aku tuh nyimpen filenya di mana ya? Bentar, regulasi. Ah, bentar, harus nyari. Oh ya, fight di Italia ya? Ntar guys, aku buka filenya dulu. Bentar, apa namanya tadi ya? Track limit. Coba ada nggak? That is only use only the truck and the pattern. However, if a rider accidentally dengan sengaja accidentally leave the truck, then they might rejoin it at the place indicated. Ya udah bisa lepas. Sesa d'Italia, sedesta dell'elmo discipio, se cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la chioma, se sarà di Roma, Dio la creo. Pom bom. Ntar ada lagi nggak kayak pengecualian gitu?
Also celebrating his first Moto2 rostrum after a calamitous conclusion to that race for his teammate Jake Dixon, who thought he'd taken third spot. A nasty dose of premature celebration though for the Brit, who
Bukan.
sees third place slip through his grasp. He took the checker flag eventually in fourth place.
Ini protes.
SSD Nvme though back on top of the podium here in Malaysia.
Moto2 win number 7 for SSD Nvme. A first podium in a couple of years for Jorge Navarro. And he thanked Guevara from 11th to 3rd for his first Moto2 podium finish. Jake Dixon with his late error relegated to 4th. Fifth place.
Nggak ada anjir.
Who overcame Marcos Ramirez.
Tapi kayaknya karena nggak ada green paint sih menurutku.
His 8th place does secure him the runner-up spot in the World Championships on Camtech.
Iya guys, kayaknya karena nggak ada green paintnya guys, nggak ada yang warna hijaunya itu loh, green paintnya itu. Kayaknya karena memang nggak ada green paintnya jadi nggak kena drop position. Mana nggak ada yang ngomongin lagi di ininya, di mana, di Twitter. Nggak ada yang ngomong sama sekali loh. Tinggal nunggu 40 menitan guys, bukan sejam. Nggak ada loh, nggak ada pembahasannya guys. Fix lah, gara-gara green pen lah, karena nggak ada green pen. Ya guys, nonton ini guys. Nonton ini guys. Sini harusnya hampir jatuh di sini nih. Coba di garisnya nyeruduk kah? Nggak ada ininya. Coba kita lihat komen-komennya guys. That was on Rossi as much as like him. That was not his best moment. Ada Rossi baik-baik. Mana? Rossi kicking others not only on the track but also in the paddocks. Piece of cracks. From there you can see Mark Asrock open his nail leaning into Rossi, causing a contact with Rossi when try and get him off. Cover up Rossi kick. Mana skincare-nya? Aku pakai ini nih. Natasha. Aku skincare pakai Natasha nah. Face wash toner dari Natasha yang men, Natasha men. Siapa lagi? Di sini aku lagi nyoba nih. Pakai Acne serumnya Peterson Lab. Udah itu doang aku buka. Paling sunscreen dari CAF udah. Iya Dixon malah. Udahlah Intel lah Dixon. Lupa cok. Parfum aku CAF guys. Parfum aku pakai CAF nih. Udah satu doang. Aku jarang kemana-mana juga, jadi cuman punya satu. Itu doang. Ada sih ini Morris, tapi jarang dipakai udah. CAF yang biru. Udah itu doang. Micellar water nih tuh. Udah mau habis nih micellar water dari Natasha juga. Udah itu doang guys. Sabun muka pakai Natasha. Dari dulu pakai Natasha soalnya. Jadi males ganti-ganti, takut nggak cocok. Kenapa nggak? Karena dari dulu pakainya Natasha. Aku kemarin kan DTR atau emang kena curb? Enggak, karena kena bam. Ya yang curb yang atas, yang sebelah kirinya itu kena curbnya itu. Kena curb. Nih, tuh kena bagian situnya. Terlalu dalam dia ngambilnya, jatuh deh. Kok udah ada build up-nya sih? Padahal masih lama loh. Udah ada live-nya nih, 310 yang nonton. Deodoran aku pakai CAF juga. CAF sama Gatsby. Ini Gatsby sama CAF. Ini yang buat di ketek ini. Terus ini yang buat di dada sama di punggung. Soalnya aku orangnya gampang keringetan. Jadi aku pakai dua. Tapi yang ini cukup di ketek doang. Gak pakai aks, nggak suka baunya, gak enak, kayak tai cowok baunya cowok, sumpah aks. Dulu kakakku pakai tuh aks waktu dulu masih sekamar tuh, baunya gak enak banget anjir, aks kayak tai. Makanya aku nggak pernah mau nyentuh aks sama sekali karena gak enak baunya. Oh nih, ini ada fotografer keren guys. Fotonya keren-keren Cok. Kan Valencia, apa katanya Valencia itu Barcelona. Pada per Motogp kemana ya? Bentar, aku tuh kayaknya pernah deh. Aku tuh pernah. Ini nih. Oh ini nih. Tapi yang desktop ada nggak ya dari dulu? Tapi kayaknya belum ada deh yang desktop deh. Tuh. Ini buat di HP sih ini tapi. Nggak tahu lagi selain itu. Tauku paling ini F1 doang taunya. Yang Motogp nggak ada. Belum tahu sih. Enggak, panas. Prediksi cuacanya sih hujan, buka aja hujan. Gede berita tentang Quartararo apa? Quartararo tuh kalau nggak salah kemarin tuh di sprint tuh dia nggak pakai motor yang baru dah, engine yang baru. Dia tuh pakai spek motor yang lama. Bentar. Aduh, aku ngebaca di mana ya kemarin ya? Iya, harusnya di Valencia juga sih. Aku udah lihat. Aduh, di mana ya aku ngelihat? Bentar. Quartararo pakai spek motor yang lama di sprint. Bentar, di Simon bukan ya? Aku sih ngebaca, aku tuh sering banget loh kayak ngebaca sesuatu tapi lupa ada di mana. Matt Oxley kah? Kalau Moto3 nggak ada. Tapi Moto3 Moto2 tuh ada aturan. Aduh, apa sih namanya? Kombinasi berat badan, minimal kombinasi berat badan. Sama kayak Hotswapable ada itu Moto3 Moto2. Bentar, mana ya? Tuh kan aku lupa lagi di mana ya. Gak ada tuh. Cerita Tangerang hujan petir gede, untung belum leres. Tadi aku juga hujan petir, tapi udah panas lagi. Tuh, aku lupa lagi di mana ya. After doing lots of work on rear downforce, trying to get more grip from the 2024 rear slick. Salvador doing back-to-back runs with it. And lihat dan sit bump. It's an easy one when it changes on the standard. Buat namain downforce belakang. Bentar. Kok nggak ada ya? Tadi hujan sebentar doang. Nah, ini. Tapi bukan anjir, the new faster yang main engine is already broken. At least on this side of the garage, good news is that mean he was still. Nyari apaan? Quartararo bilang, bentar. Waktu sprint tuh Quartararo pakai engine yang baru apa yang lama ya? Aku lupa anjir. Ada selebrasi kematian. Nah, ini dia yang aku bilang nih. Ini kan ada long lap nih, sanksi long lap Bun Fermin nih. Tapi kemungkinan besar di Motogp. Tuh, waktu di Thailand kemarin nih. Ya emang rada ngawur sih Fermin kemarin. Double long lap penalty in view mitigation long lap penalty. Jadi yang tadinya double long lap tapi karena ngeliat keadaannya Fermin yang gak bisa ngapa-ngapain, jadi ya udah dikasihnya long lap penalty. Next Grand Prix race. Tapi ini kemungkinan besar waktu balapan masih ada zaman setengah jam ya, cedera plus kena long lap penalti. Kemungkinan iya, tapi kalau tiba-tiba ada pemutihan ya nggak bakal jadi. Ya kan, bener kan berarti kan? Bentar, bener kan berarti kan apa yang aku ngomongin tadi? Nih, the new faster Yamaha engine is already broken, udah rusak, yang baru yang kencang. Good news is that means he was still too fast with the old package. Berarti bener kan? Translate itu nggak salah kan? Bener kan? Kalau dia berarti kemarin Q2 sama Sprint pakai motor yang lama. Musim lalu dia juga bagus dah. Duh, musim lalu aja kuartal 5 loh. Bagus emang Yamaha tuh di Sepang guys. Tapi sendirian dia ya. Oh yang Morbidelli aja 7 loh. Bagus ini sebenarnya Yamaha. Potensi Yamaha tuh kenceng di Sepang, lumayan. Ini dia kemungkinan besar bisa top 5 lagi loh ini. Yamaha. Yamaha pernah tes private kali di Sepang, enggak. Ngambilnya Mugello sama mana ya? Mugello sama mana ya? Aku lupa. PSU tahun depan siapa? Kalau dari potensi motor sih Verpin ya, dari potensi motor ya. Kecuali Aprilia bikin gebrakan baru, ganti aeronya supaya mereka dapetin corner speednya lagi. Karena kan aeronya Aprilia yang sekarang kan bikin mereka gak dapetin corner speed. Makanya di beberapa track yang seharusnya Aprilia tuh bisa kenceng, malah nggak bisa karena memang udah mentok. Alex aja sekarang udah ngos-ngosan aja sama Aprilia, udah kacau lah Aprilia. Jangan udah seperti mendungkah guys. Masih iklan guys, bentar. Di sini nggak sih? Jadi ada live-nya. Masih panas Mana? Valencianya kemana om? Diganti om. Soalnya Valencianya banjir om. Terus berbela sungkawa juga. Jadi dipindah om ke Catalunya om. Ya wawancaranya di mana anjir? Ya jelas beda banget nggak sih sama GP23. Jelas beda banget sih. Ya Rune aja bingung waktu apa balapan, waktu mau start kan, latihan start aja dia bingung dia jadi sama BZK aja. Iya Rune pasti panas guys. Terus apa lagi ya, udah bilang memang apa ya kenceng banget lah pakai GP23. Terus aeronya juga bikin motornya lebih kenceng katanya ya kan, yang kayak gitu kan. Mandalika. Bang kok kemarin nggak lanjut balap padahal motornya masih segar. Ya tergantung guys, kalau motornya memang bisa dinyalain, memang masih nyala ya bisa aja ngelanjut. Tapi kadang-kadang motor yang jatuh gitu dinyalain tuh susah guys. Dan kalau nggak salah tuh ada aturan baru dah, tapi masih dipakai atau enggak ya. Jadi kalau misalkan lanjutin balapan nih, misalkan jatuh nih, motornya mati, habis itu si rider pengen banget buat motornya buat nyala gitu, tapi motornya nggak nyala tuh kalau nggak salah ridernya tuh kena sanksi dah, harus ngasih waktu 15 menit buat para marshal dapetin tanda tangan apa ya. Jadi malah kayak jadi apa ya, marshal service kali, apa kayak fan service gitu loh. Kemarin di Australia Simon Preston bilang kayak gitu. Aduh susah lagi nyarinya. Simon Preston bilang kayak gitu deh di Australia. Tapi nggak tahu masih dipakai atau enggak. Ada aturannya unik guys. Ya bukan ribet sih sebenarnya. Prediksi bang. Aduh ya Peko pertama Peko Martin, kalau nggak Marquez Enea sih, soalnya motornya Marquez nggak kenceng-kenceng banget di sini. Cuman kalau Enea juga nggak kenceng-kenceng juga, ya Marquez yang ketiga sih. Bukannya nggak mau ya, tapi memang biasanya kalau motornya mati itu udah susah buat dinyalain guys. Centric aman sih menurutku. Ya balik lagi ke pilotnya sih, yang bikin bahaya tuh pilotnya aja yang kadang-kadang rada-rada. Ya kemarin yang ngawur tuh yang Millernya juga sih. Tapi mau gimana anjir? Masa dia mau stop di tikungan situ? Dia juga terlalu lebar kan dia. Waktu di sprint apa ya? Akhirnya jatuh. Ya emang nyebelin guys, turn line udah mah harus hard brake, terus naik nanjak, terus ada curve-nya. Marquez tahun depan gimana? Harusnya bisa juara dunia sih. Tapi ya balik lagi, kalau dia banyak jatuh ya susah juga sih. Dan ganti Ogura, empty helmet kemarin. Moto2 line up. Ivan Ortola. Ini bagus nih, ini orang. Cuman kebanyakan blunder aja nih orang, ini anak. Aku tahu dia waktu dia masih di junior GP nih. Bagus dia waktu pakai Aspar ya kalau nggak salah waktu itu. Ivan Ortola. Baltus hilang, Foggia hilang. Masih. Aku nggak yakinnya kalau misalkan Peko. Aku mulai nggak yakin kalau misalkan Peko dia finish di belakangnya Martin lagi. Kalau Peko udah finish belakangnya Martin di main race ini, ya Martinnya juara dunia sih. Selagi belum juara dunia mah aku masih yakin Peko Jurdun. Coba aku ngejing lagi nggak? Kemarin aku ngejing anjir. Aku bilang di broadcast, ini Peko kalau mau dominasi di hari Jumat, besok bakal isi win sih. Malah jatuh nih. Coba kalau aku jagoin, oke, Martin ini bakal menang nih. Coba bakal ngejinx nggak aku? Siapa tahu tiba-tiba ngejinx. Ya ini spot TV-nya begini lagi guys. Kita pakai yang Arab nggak sih? Pakai tayangan Indo anjir.
على موضوع انه فاز في 3 سباقات فقط تقول انه شلون يتصدر، لكنه هو ذكي وقلنا بدايه الجولات عمرت موضوع انه
Oke.
يجمع النقاط.
Qatar spawnnya baru, nggak tahu.
الان
nggak ngikutin.
هذا سباق الحصاد بالنسبه لخورخي مارتين. هل باستطاعته انه ينهي هذا السباق متصدر ويفرق عن بنيايه ويحسم اللقب.
Spotify-ku belum ke refund anjir. Jadi pakai ini dulu. Yang Spotify begini, cowok tuh. Ada kayak trans 7 gitu loh. Males.
Apa namanya
Tuh.
buat stop and go-nya kita bisa lihat di heartbreak-nya di turn 1-nya tuh.
Males. Mending di sini. Mending ngarep. Biar berkah guys, biar berkah. Kita nonton yang Arab biar berkah.
فهذه كلها عوامل توضح انه في توتر عالي حتى لكن اعتقد انه اليوم بيسعى الحصول.
Yang belum di-like bisa kali di-like guys.
ويعتبر ممكن نقول توتر
Di-like nggak sih?
تركيز. فهو خلاص 100% على الحلبة ما يفكر لا يمين ولا يسار. لذلك
اختلف في التركيز نايف لان التركيز اعطاه رساله على
Udah di Motogp males dia ini suka apa sih seru-seruan gitu, tapi aku nggak suka. Soalnya ngalang-ngalangin ininya gitu loh, ngalang-ngalangin gambarnya itu, apa yang kita tonton gitu.
يبيلك قهوة.
Ini Martin ngapain sih?
التركيز ما طالع في ذا الاشياء على المسار فقط لا غير عشان يحقق النقاط.
Jadi kemarin dia ngikutin belakang orang terus. Yang server yang ada begituan atau server enggak males. Ngelek biasanya. Ntar ini aja ntar juga pindah kok. Cuman sebentar doang ini di sini. Ntar palingnya 5 menit sebelum balapan aku pindah ke yang situ. Ke yang Spotify. Oh, tahu aku tahu harus kemana guys. Kita ke YouTube-nya Motogp guys. Kenapa nggak kepikiran ya? Emang ya ada iklan judulnya? Aku belum pernah nemuin sih. Nah.
Oh, this is.
Hey, careful, Andrea.
Yeah. Just slotting
Sumpah
in
ini.
front of them on the sighting lap. Is that just Andrea Iannone? I think he might be just doing a bit of a
ini
favour
Martin.
there. For the show. The grid, who's going to be
Ini Martin sering banget dari kemarin ngikutin orang mulu loh. Cuacanya panas, nggak mungkin hujan.
For the showdown, for the biggest Grand Prix.
Masih belum ke refund. Ditutupin sama Yano nih. Oh, ditutupin. Ditutupin. Pokoknya aku beli Spotify Now pakai Shopify tapi nggak ke-detect di Spotify Now-nya. Udah kebayar tuh 65.000. Tapi nggak ke-detect guys. Jadi kayak aku bayar kayak for nothing gitu loh. Kayak jatuhnya kayak sedekah gitu. Gak bisa dipakai Spotify Now-nya. Soalnya nggak ada paketannya. Jadi pakai yang ini dulu. Jadi pakai yang ilegal dulu. Udah protes kemarin. Udah protes ke mana? Ke Shopify-nya. Terus dialihin buat nge-refund uangnya 65.000, jadi nggak rugi-rugi amat. Bakal balik tuh 65.000-nya tuh. Tapi masih lama, kayak 1-4 harian gitu. Gak apa-apa, yang penting balik lagi uangnya 65.000. Daripada for nothing anjir. Lumayan itu bang buat iklan aja, nonton jadi mati. Enggak satu frekuensi aku sama nonton GP itu. Kayak tiba-tiba kayak gini. Kayak tiba-tiba lagi nonton nih, seru-seru nih. Terus tiba-tiba ada kayak gini. Emang biasanya kayak gitu nggak ke-detect. Ya nggak tahu. Dulu pernah tuh, tapi udah 5.000 sih. Kan aku pakai akun yang itu, akun pakai lewat Google kan, login pakai lewat Google. Terus tiba-tiba udah masuk tuh, terus bayar kan, 25.000. tiba-tiba suruh login lagi, gak bisa pakai akun yang Google itu loh, jadi harus bikin akun lagi. Sekarang kan gak bisa tuh pakai akun Google tuh, akun Facebook itu kan udah gak bisa. Dulu masih bisa tuh. Terus aku beli yang di situ malah gak ke detect juga kayak gitu. Aneh seperti Vinap. Nonton Vision Plus nge-lag, buri. Seperti Vinap rada-rada babi juga. Video.com juga kadang-kadang, bukan kadang-kadang sih, emang delay. Males. Ya betul, kata lu di TV bang, males Trans 7. Kadang Trans 7 juga error kan. Trans 7 kemarin kalian pada banyak yang marah-marah tuh, komentatornya hilang tuh, diganti komentator Indo. Ya kan? Prediksi lu sekarang siapa nih? Masih sama, Peko Martin Enea, Quartararo top 5. Quartararo bisa top 5 sih. Cuman mau skin posisinya gua nggak tahu guys. Udah 11/3 anjir. Bentar guys, aku mau ke ini dulu guys, Motogp guru. DNF Sabah, iya none. Kemarin mau saja kan jadi ini kan, emang ada nggak jelas kadang-kadang.
On the grid, our top 3 riders from the Asia Talent Cup. Congratulations to Zen Matani, the ATC champion for this year. Of course, that system, the Asia Talent Cup, part of the Road to MotoGP program, has created this year its first Grand Prix World Champion.
Oliveira nggak balap kemana? Dia lagi liburan guys. Ganti Valencia jadinya apa bang? Sentul. Oh ya, Oliveira kemana ya? Lagi liburan. Dia lagi magang jadi dokter gigi. Dia. Aku lupa string gridnya yang paling belakang siapa ya? Ada nggak bisa lagi. Wah buset. Malu-maluin orang Indo anjir, ini judi cok. Tai. Mati aja sana kalian semua. Siapa ya? Skin position ya. Aduh, Sarko posisinya di situ lagi. Aku start. Pucil kematian, sabar sih Pedro. Pucil kematian. Masih anjir. Langsung aku hilangin live chatnya. Siapa ya? Alex? Aduh, siapa ya? Pedro kah? Udah Pedro aja deh. Mau aja Pedro. Moskin position. Harusnya Quartararo, tapi Quartararo startnya di top 10. Alex apa? Kalau Alex, aku ragu sih Alex tuh. Udah kayak keong dia. Yang bisa comeback kayaknya Pedro. PCG kemarin cuma naik 4, ya kan? Pedro sih. PCG cuma naik 4 kemarin. Nggak di Discordnya Bang Binda. Memang ada nobar. Oh ya, biasanya ada nobar sih di situ. Biasanya burik guys. Males. Alas makis bagus iya, tapi buat masukin position nggak bisa. Kemarin aja mundur ya ke berapa? 4 kan? Gak terlalu aku jagoin Alas makis di sini. Range susah, range masih belum bisa adaptasi, belum belum ngeklik sama Yamaha-nya. Seumpama Martin Crash gimana dengan Peko? Kalau Martin Crash, Peko pertama ya bagus lah. Caranya jadi motoin.
Considering the slip that there will be during the race, that will increase the fuel consumption, it is necessary to manage.
Sorry, this is rear wheel spin.
Yes.
Nanti F1 nonton F1 malam tadi nggak bang nonton. Verstappen turun ya, turun posisi anjir. 1, 2, 3 Sarko. Sarko kayaknya 11 dah, 11-12. 1, 2, 3 Peko Martin Enea. Dulu diserangin. Tapi emang gak dicurangin sih itu guys. Tapi memang salah itu. Masih VSC tapi dia udah coba buat di sebelahnya Oscar itu nggak dibolehin. Itu nggak dibolehin guys. Bolehnya itu di belakang tapi belum ngelewatin ban belakangnya Oscar gitu loh. Itu nggak apa-apa kalau masih kayak gini. Ini nggak apa-apa. Di belakang ada penjelasannya kok di F1 Speed Indonesia. Kedicurangin sih itu. Kenapa pesannya FAE-nya lama ya? Ya kan harus ini ya, harus harus dipanggil dulu drivernya, ngasih penjelasan. Terus harus treating ngecek kameranya, CCTV-nya, ya CCTV sih, kameranya juga dicek. Motogp kadang-kadang lama kan, kayak Vinales basicnya juga lama kan, karena memang dipanggil dulu ridernya. Biarkan mereka menjelaskan gitu. Jadi nggak semata-mata dari stewardnya sendiri. Oh kamu salah langsung gitu, nggak kayak gitu caranya. Iyalah orang lagi posisinya potensi buat juara dunia masa gak di swap anjir, aneh banget. Emang harus swap.
To put himself into this position. There is the big ice pack wrapped around Martin's neck.
Nggak apa-apa, tim order nggak apa-apa. Yang penting tim order sesama teammate, bukan yang panas. Tapi engine baru L22 lumayan aja, bagus kok. Tapi emang Ferrari juga bukan mobil yang kenceng banget di sirkuit yang flowing gitu kan, fast flowing gitu. Emang bukan truknya mereka sih. Buat awal-awal masih oke lah Ferrari, tapi lama kelamaan hilang kan dia. Leclerc langsung turun loh, langsung malah ngedeket sama Carlos. Masih ada 3 race ya. Race ini main race, sprint race Catalunya, main race Catalunya. Aku kurang tahu berapa seri lagi. 2 seri lagi kan? Sao Paulo habis itu Abu Dhabi kan? Kayaknya susah sih. Harus kalau mau nyali Verstappen harus bikin Verstappennya DNF sih. Sekarang poinnya kalau nggak salah 40 berapa ya? Bedanya 42 apa ya? Ya jam setengah 6 ntar. Kemarin dibatalin gara-gara hujan badai. Nggak ada potensi hujan, panas. Cuma engine baru kalau steer masih oversteer. Ya tapi masih bisa ngejar McLaren itu Verstappen. Berarti harus ada. Bukan kungfu sih. Bukan kungfu sih itu. Kita unboxing guys.
A beautiful rendition of the
Ntar aja lah.
Malaysian national anthem by Ella, who's getting a
Mak pakai ban
wonderful
apa? Soft medium.
from the
Ada
Malaysian
deh,
crowd
ada
here.
deh.
Absolutely wonderful, isn't it, to see the packed grandstands.
Pengganti Perez.
Fabio
Nah,
Quartararo fans.
ada rumor baru guys, pengganti Perez guys. Katanya
One of our time
Horner mau
swapped over to the soft front tire.
mau cari cara nge-cancel kepindahannya Sainz ke Williams. Jadi Sainz itu tuh ditarik ke Red Bull, ke RBR, gantiin Perez, terus masukin Colapinto ke Williams. Nah iya tuh kayak gitu tuh, aku denger tadi pagi aku baca tuh. udah hujan tadi. Peko kayak pakai enggak, Peko soft medium tadi. Yang pakai medium cuma Martin. Tapi sebelumnya juga ada tuh obrolan bakal naikin Tsunoda apa ya? Terus nanti di mana? Di Alpha Tauri-nya atau VCRB-nya dipasang Lawson sama siapa ya? Satunya aku lupa. Udah fix sih, makanya coba buat ngesabotase gimana caranya Sainz bisa ke Red Bull gitu. Mau dipindahin. Lagi nyari cara katanya si Hornernya.
It's very difficult to predict because 20 laps under this hot, extremely hot condition.
Softnya itu tuh asimetrik guys.
Physically it will be very tough also.
Jadi aman. Aku lupa sih. Kanan yang hard, kiri yang soft atau kiri yang hard, kanan yang soft. Aku lupa. Tapi aman sih. Aman kok.
Who will be able to manage in the best way will have some, it will be pay off.
Thank you for that, David.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Jadi tinggal bertarung dalam segi memanage tires guys. Tapi kamu di kawalian ya bang, berarti aku harus coba sih. Mana ada anjing. Gitu sih. Lo nggak cepet aus. Asimetrik kanan kalau nggak salah rear kan. Aku lupa lagi. Harus ngecek lagi cok. Harus ngecek ke Twitter lagi nih. Bentar, aku lupa lagi. Yang depan tuh asimetrik. Makanya aman pakai soft. Coba kita ke Michelin. Motogp.
It was supposed to be potentially a title decider, as always at the Ricardo Thomas circuit in Valencia. That not possible as the relief effort.
Alah, ketutupan WEC ini loh.
Efforts of the entire city concentrated.
WEC Bahrain.
Getting the city back to some semblance of normality as quickly as possible.
Soft medium dari Kamen, makanya soft medium soalnya. Dari sisi praktis juga soft medium. Harus nge-scroll jauh. Nih, asimetris ya, di kanan betul yang di kanan. Oh, rearnya cuman medium hard doang. Sama ternyata kayak yang di situ. Tapi yang asimetris. Yang depan frontnya nggak asimetris, simetrik doang nih ternyata. Yang simetrik yang belakang. Jadi medium ini termasuk yang apa, yang paling lunak lah. Makanya kemarin pada pakai medium semua kan rearnya, nggak ada yang pakai soft.
By Brad Binder, finished in 7th place. We have the hashtag the rematch at the bottom of your screens. Well, it was a rematch between Jack Miller and Pedro Acosta yesterday in their battle for 8th place. This one was won by Miller.
Disaraninnya ya soft medium sih. Tapi harus hati-hati yang pakai soft depan katanya. Rawan ngedrop. Tapi banyak yang, tapi mostly pakai soft medium sih. Aman lah harusnya.
Lewis has got the Michelin tire sheet. Where are we looking? Is he going for the medium front, medium rear, Lewis?
3 riders in the field have gone that route. All bar 3 have gone for the soft front, medium rear. The 3 who've gone for the medium front, Jack Miller, Luca Marini, and your World Championship leader, Jorge Martin.
He is not
Jack Miller ganti, Marini ganti.
to take a risk.
Oke, kita pindah ke sini. Gak enak, emang dirimu balapan ha? Gak enak ha? Hah? Emang kamu yang balapan ha? Gak enak. Gak ada yang pakai soft, gak ada lah, orang softnya gak ada. Medium itu udah paling soft. Emang kamu yang balapan ha? Gak enak.
The only rider on the front row, one of only 3 riders in the entire field here in Sepang that has gone for that medium front tyre. Jorge Martin then going from second place on the grid.
Martin ya
ahead of the
medium.
biggest race
Ya,
of his
siapa yang
life.
bekerja?
But it's Pecco Bagnaia trying to keep his title
Ya kan di game ya.
from pole position in Sepang.
Ya balik lagi ngasih referensi. Di game kan kayak udah keatur gitu loh, udah ke algoritma gitu. Kalau di real life kan misolongnya masih bisa ngutak-ngatik gitu. Ban stop bisa jadi hard gitu, itu pun bisa. Makanya nggak bisa jadi acuan sih sebenarnya game itu. Nambah pengetahuan iya, tapi kalau jadi acuan gitu nggak bisa deh. DC maksudnya? DC apaan anjing? Telat pin. Ada apa di Discord? Nggak ada. Boleh. Iya aku delay, maaf ya. Aku delay.
Tower of Champions is the ultimate
Apa
prize
sih?
in Grand Prix motorcycle racing. Pecco
Oh,
Bagnaia has seen his
nayangin.
name sit proudly at the top of
Ngapain
the
sih?
tower in 2022 and in 2023, but he is clinging on.
Nggak usah yang di sini
to the
aja.
title by his fingernails.
Tuh yang mau nobar ada tuh di Discord no.
Potentially
Ada yang
pivotal
nobar di
Petronas
Discord.
Grand Prix in Malaysia in 2024. The two title contenders
Iya, Vinyas emang statnya
went
jelek.
toe-to-toe in a thrilling and dramatic, probably the
Nggak
best
usah Steve,
ever
nggak apa-apa, aku
Q2
di
set
sini
we've ever
aja.
seen here in Malaysia. But now it is all about the championship. The biggest 20 laps of Jorge Martin's career have arrived here in Malaysia. 20 laps that have been 26 years.
Patah-patah,
in the making for
Steve,
Spain's
sumpah,
newest
patah-patah.
high-speed superstar. It is
Patah-patah,
the moment
sumpah,
of reckoning.
patah-patah.
Judgment day for the Martinator as he needs 9 points more
Patah-patah,
than
Steve.
Bagnaia to be on cloud 9 and be crowned 2024 Motogp World Champion.
Oh ya
A
udah.
world title
Patah-patah
has been
asli.
decided on Sepang soil on 15 previous
Martin,
occasions.
kalau misalkan Martin posisi pertama, Pecco ketiga, kekunci udah.
When he won the 2018 Moto3 World Championship.
Pokoknya Pecco harus di belakangnya Martin persis.
Nothing comes close to this. This is the ultimate prize, the title every rider wants, the title every rider dreams of, and Martin is now so close, he can almost reach out and touch it.
Kayaknya punyamu sendiri deh. Kayaknya internetmu deh. Soalnya aku di OBS aman-aman aja. Apakah ada yang blunder, guys?
Rolling into a final round decider. This is it, Lewis. This is what he's worked for his whole life.
Siapa di sini yang bakal blunder? Banyak aja 184.000 bukan lumayan lagi anjir. Banyak itu tuh. Kalian kumpulin tuh 184.000 di depan rumah kalian rame guys. Bukan lumayan lagi guys.
From being crowned Motogp World Champion.
And in front of a bumper crowd here in Sepang, the
Kalau Martin berusaha atau lagi.
likely to win the championship today is if he wins this Malaysian
Coba,
Grand Prix.
apakah
Bagnaia has to then
aku
face
bakal
Motogp
ngejing
World
karena aku bilang Martin bakal
Martin
menang?
is champion. If Pecco Bagnaia does what he did yesterday and crashes out of this race, Martin can finish as low as 7th to still win this championship. If it is indeed a possibility as we go through the race, we're on top of all of the different scenarios for you.
Bagnaia on pole position with that electrifying record-breaking lap in Q2 yesterday morning. A Q2 which lived long.
Aku nggak ngejinx loh padahal loh. Aku bilang DJ bisa posisi 4 beneran posisi 4. Aku bilang Quartararo bisa posisi 5, kemarin posisi 5. Bener jing aku. Kalian tuh ngeliatnya itu yang jelek-jelek doang guys. Siapa yang startnya jelek? Kayo. Siapa? Wah, Martin lagi. Pekon kenceng banget nih. Nice. Quartararo kena ya. Ada 4. Oh, nggak aman. Yes, Quartararo aman. Let's go. Quartararo aman. Quartararo aman, tapi turun 5. Quartararo babi. Nggak tergantung sih. Kalau memang susah ya red flag sih harusnya. Di tengah harusnya red flag. Red flag harusnya red flag. Quartararo aman guys, 10 untung aja. Very early on, but if it stays like this, then we will roll on to that final round showdown. Frankie Morbidelli, he was briefly thrown to move on the red flag dong, wey.
Going through that tight.
Kok nggak red flag sih?
I'm sure he's had instructions from Prima Pramac to stay well out of it if it's Oya Martin that he's battling with.
Oh, udah red flag. Yes.
I think the red flags must have come out. Nothing on our screens, but the riders are all signaling as if they're stopping. Yeah, race red flag due to a crash.
Oh, Quartararo kena. Oh, beda aku ngeliat range ya. Babi. Tadi tuh ada yang itunya hancur itu loh. Front wingnya hancur. Masih bisa start lagi sini harusnya. Quartararo. Kayak 2 KTM ya. Sama Quartararo. Wah, Peko udah P1 malah. No, Quartararo tidak. Coba masih bisa start lagi nggak Quartararo?
Yeah, race red flagged at the end of the first lap, so we will have a shortened second part of this Grand Prix, and they will.
Dikurangin nih lapnya nih. Peko lah dirugiin lah, udah P1 anjing.
Take their original grid positions. Yeah, I think it was Miller who was the rider who we saw both rider and bike that came across the inside of turn 2 straight into the line of traffic, and of course his teammate
udah kena aeronya dulu tadi loh, ada yang hancur dulu di tengah-tengah tuh.
Several of the riders were taken down, but of course if a rider is still being treated in the middle of the racetrack, no other option from race direction but to call a halt to that.
Yeah, saw the flying
Miller kena. Oh nih, bentar nih, kita lihat deh.
Martin and Bagnaia, as we saw yesterday, look how aggressive Bagnaia sweeps to his right just to try and let Martin know he's right there. You can see Miller in the middle of your picture.
Martin hampir cuy nyenggol kakinya Peko.
Tight it was between Bagnaia and Martin on the run down to 2-1. This replay has been played out on the big screens. We can hear the fans. Now further back then, they might
alah, kameranya nge-zoom.
Now what happens further down the field?
Miller's way over to our left. Here he comes. Straight into Quartararo in his red tire. A Binder on the outside also gets collected.
Miller's head.
Anjing nyelip coba kepalanya. Tapi aman sih, conscious.
He got his head wedged in between the rear tire and the rear seat unit.
Yuk, Quartararo keluar lagi yuk. Bisa Quartararo keluar lagi. Bukan, Simoncelli mah di 11. Kan 9, 10, 11. Simoncelli 11. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 ya. Dia masih tempo tapi conscious, sadar, tapi tetap sadar, aman. Sadar dia guys. Kepala siapa itu? Miller. Aman. Iya, kurang 3 lap. Dikurangi. Di dekat tikungan, dekat kenapa tuh orang berdiri. Kepalanya nyangkut di ban belakang motornya, Pin. Ada insiden. Itu deket tikungan di mana 58 emang bahaya kayaknya. Bukan. Simoncelli jam 11. Ini jam 3. Jam 2. 3 laps not completed. Emang tadi startnya berapa lap? 19 lap.
Oversee the treatment for Jack Miller.
It's often such a pinch point into that second corner. We saw something not too dissimilar to that at the start of the Moto2 race last year.
Oh ya, bukan dikurangin 3 lap.
An accident in the middle of turn 1. There is nowhere for that accident to go
Kamu jadi
except
directly
into turn
19 lap tapi
heading through, and that's ultimately, sadly, what we saw. And it's all about keeping calm now. If you're Jorge Martin, Pecco Bagnaia, of course, who have been able to seize that early lead. But the
iya, dikurang 1 lap. Betul.
24 hours, Martin was able to get the jump off the line on Bagnaia, although Bagnaia fought back this time. We will do it all again.
Nggak ketabrak itu.
A restart time.
Hampir.
Yeah,
kalau ketabrak langsung sakit itu kayak songket.
At the moment you can see Miller. There he is. That's nasty.
Iya none. Iya. Tadi Alex yang paling belakang, yang paling buncit ya. Aman ini Quartararo. Aman. Enggak kena. Kayaknya sih nggak bakal. Gua ngira turn 3 aja beda anjir. Turn 11 itu yang Simoncelli. Sama. Soalnya belum finish. Sama.
So as it stands right now, the race will be restarted for a slightly shortened distance, 1 lap taken off of the original race distance, original grid positions. Let's just pop down to
Aman, Pin.
Red Bull Gas Touring boss Nico Goyon is with Simon.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to not think about Jack right now. Big hugs from me to Jack. First of all, Nico, really curious. I'm sure all the fans out there are.
Ya low set gimana ya? Low set sih, cuman ya nubruk gimana ya? Soalnya ini Miller di kiri, Quartararo di tengah, di depan, Binder di sebelah sini. Ya udah, Miller jatuh, kepalanya kena ban belakangnya Quartararo jatuh, Binder jatuh. Nah gitu pokoknya. Pakai apa itu apanya? Wah, pakai ayam kepuk. Ya ini udah mulai nih, lebih dari 50. Tapi kadang-kadang doang. Iya masuk ke tentu betul, makanya numpuk. Ya hampir, ya nggak mirip-mirip banget sama yang Mandalika Turn 3. Tapi intinya Miller yang di dalam. Mati sama Pecco diinvestigasi, kenapa? There's nothing wrong with it. Investigasi kenapa?
The medical staff
Emang
who
iya,
are
nggak ada
treating
nih.
Jack Miller, they will take their time with this, particularly head or to neck. They will not Miller very best care at the moment down there at turn 2.
Kenapa?
Do you reckon that Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia won this?
Enggak ah.
That is how much.
Insiden
they
doang,
want it.
nggak
They
ada
were prepared to throw it
investigasi.
all on the line in turn 1. You understand Bagnaia wanting to do that, but Martin was
Valencia
not
ada
taking a
sentul
backward
di
step
sentul
there,
guys.
was he?
Ya ada Pirli ya.
He certainly wasn't.
Masih di
He
sini
knows
Pirli.
that his only option really to retain the world championship
Aman
is
ini
to
guys, kayak
win
gini
this
guys,
Malaysian
nggak ada
Grand Prix, beat Roy
investasi.
Martin, and then
Investigasi,
hope that
bodoh.
players coming from elsewhere on
Kenapa
the grid.
investasi,
This is
Cuk?
how tight it gets. Doesn't get any closer than this, does it?
Involved,
As they
involved,
rub on the
adanya
entry
involved.
to that first
Involved itu
corner.
tuh
Then Bagnaia just cuts to that tight
kayak
inside
semacam
line.
keterlibatan.
Unfortunately, just seconds behind them was the incident involving
Lama nih bisa 5 menitan guys.
and Binder.
10 menitan lebih ya.
I mean, they both pretty much made identical launches, didn't they? I bet if you look at the data between Martin and Bagnaia start there, their reaction time was exactly the same because they were sort of millimetres apart, weren't they? On the run down to the first corner, you can see it looked like there was contact, clear contact between the left-hand side of Martin and Bagnaia's right leg as Bagnaia drops his right leg. Or did he just pull it back
Yeah,
in
it almost
time?
looks as if Martin took avoiding action there, and here comes Bagnaia back up the inside of us, putting some pretty firm manners on Jorge Martin, as he kind of had to do really. As we saw yesterday, Bagnaia knew he couldn't allow himself to be the follower and to be chasing Jorge Martin, because he was chasing Martin, which led to a crash in the sprint yesterday.
Guys, sambil minum dulu guys.
So just a quick reminder about the state of play ahead of this Malaysian Grand Prix. Jorge Martin, 9 points. He needed more than Pecco Bagnaia to wrap up this year's Motogp World Championship. This is Jack Miller's factory KTM team with, as you can imagine, rather anxious faces, understandable concern for the Australian.
Mampus kalian aku mandiin kan? Kalian pasti belum pada mandi kan? Aku mandiin kalian pakai Mr. Muscle.
We will be now transported back to the Circuit Medical Centre.
Yeah, now the task and the job for the marshals and for the safety director you saw heading out there is to make sure that there is no debris or no fluids that have been spilt on the racetrack in that incident. As the cleanup operation takes place, you can see the lines on the racetrack there as we saw contact in the heart of turn 2, a bit of a downhill approach into that second corner as well. Still, we await a restart time, still expecting a 19-lap Grand Prix, and a glance outside our commentary box window, directly up above the podium here, there is a dark cloud hanging over the pit lane, which will open in 6 minutes' time.
15:20 local time then is when the pit lane will reopen. It will be for a quick restart procedure, which means the pit lane will be open for 60 seconds. There'll be one team member allowed onto the grid to meet and greet their rider, just to make sure that everything's a-okay with the machinery, and then we will be back underway for what will be the slightly shortened distance of 19 laps in this Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia. So there you'd see confirmation on your screens of where we're at. Pit lane exit will open for 60 seconds at 20 past the hour, 20 past 3 local time. 60 seconds only ahead of the exciting lap. Original grid positions, which will mean Pecco Bagnaia, the current Motogp World Champion, will start from pole position
bukan
on that front row of the grid.
Zifriend T82.
Darker outside of our commentary box window. The sun has
Mahal
now
ini
gone in
Protect.
back behind the clouds a little bit. Of course, there's every chance that the rain can arrive now, that the race is essentially going to
Start dari
start
pit
20
lane, mana
minutes
ada Cuk, start dari
behind
pit lane.
schedule once again. There was some fears going into this race day that we
Panas
could have
ini,
some
panas.
rain, potentially some thunderstorms were going to be in the area. We've been able to steer clear of it so far here at Sepang, but is there going to be one final twist from the weather? As mentioned, there is some seriously threatening clouds over the back of the pit building up towards turns 5 and 6. We hope that those clouds miss us.
It's always very, very difficult for any rider, knowing very, very difficult situation for the riders when they know, of course, they're competitors, but many of them are
Panas.
great level of throughout the Motogp. Is always a very tough scenario when you know that one of your own, one of your great pals.
Kata orang Tuan Suju kalau kelewat 1 menit dari pit harusnya kan dari pit paling belakang kan.
International circuit as the clouds gather overhead. We are at just gone 15:16 local time in the afternoon here. So just about 3.5 minutes
1
now
menit
away
ya
from
ke
the
paling belakang nggak sih harusnya?
lane reopening.
Ini kenapa bang tinggal ada insiden,
Temperature. Simon, let's go down to you in pit lane.
Yep, sorry, that was a car going.
Ya tergantung sih kalau memang bisa keluar lebih dari 1 menit. Biasanya kan kalau misalkan telat nih keluarnya, biasanya bakal di pit lane dulu, habis itu kan warm up pada setting lap. Warm up, habis warm up dia baru datang tuh, jadi di paling belakang kayaknya. Start di pit lane itu ya kalau misalkan dia tiba-tiba masuk pit sih. Iya, start dari belakang bukan dari pit. Emang dia bilangnya dari pit. Error anjir. Error dia. Kamu lu deket jalan raya ya, banyak suara. Sebenarnya bukan jalan raya sih, jalan itu jalan dua, bukan jalan raya, tapi memang banyak yang lalu lalang gitu loh. Tapi bukan jalan raya, bukan yang jalan yang luas banget gitu loh. Jalan yang biasaan aja.
Just a quick reminder that
kardus bukan domba.
Well, that means that the pit lane when it opens at 15:20 p.m.
Error dia nggak apa-apa, error guys. Insiden apa tuh? Ya tuh saling tubruk menubruk, intinya begitulah. Ya kayaknya udah ada di Twitter deh. Coba cek Twitter aja, harusnya udah ada ya. Padahal aku puyeng banget anjir. Siapa sih guys komentatornya guys? Om Joni. Hujan nggak nih? Panas. Toro masih ikut nggak? Kayaknya masih deh. Miller sadar, conscious kok. Sadar. Dia pasti ada trauma, ada shock pasti. Tapi yang cowok bang kayaknya Om Joni deh. Setauku dari paling belakang sih. Setauku ya.
Of course, situations such as this, it's again something to occupy the minds of the riders when, if you're Jorge Martin or Pecco Bagnaia especially, but of course the entire field are in the same boat, you want to keep your mind as clear as possible.
Jalan tol.
Has to focus once again at the job at hand. And another opportunity to get the jump on Pecco Bagnaia off the line.
Baru datang terlalu lama. Nggak bakal dipakai ini. Ya jadi masuk dulu nih setting lap, habis itu warm up, habis itu mulai. Ya kita berharap ini nggak ada flag to flag supaya Quartararo nggak bisa. Kalau Quartararo nanti flag to flag dia nggak pakai motor apa ini, motor keduanya rusak. Coba kalau udah bisa dibenerin sih. Speeder mah aman. Tinggal pakai motor yang kedua kan. Ya nggak aman Millernya. Kalau di tes akhir musim nggak tes di Sepang, tapi kalau tes di Catalunya-nya enggak. Baru beres itu operasi. Harus ganti ban bukan motor. Iya harus ganti motor nih. Tapi susah juga guys, kan harus, tapi lama banget tuh, harus lebih dari 1 menit kalau nggak salah. Iya kan 1 menitan lebih kalau misalkan ganti ban tuh. Kayak yang di PSBK. Gak ada motor gindang guys. Ya moga aja nggak ada flag to flag. Kecuali motornya bisa dibenerin yang cepet ya. Terus akhir musim itu kapan ya? Setelah satu hari setelah Katalunya. Jadi Katalunya beres nih minggu. Ya Senin ya. Biasanya gitu sih. Halo Bang. Lah ini siapa anjir? Oh, motor kedua. Persiapan motor kedua. Belum hujan. Kayaknya nggak bakal hujan sih, panas banget. Nah, ini gue tahu tragedi. Nonton kah? Nenekmu nonton kah? Loh, Oliveira kenapa ya kok udah nggak ikut beberapa race? Dia magang jadi dokter gigi guys di Portugal. Lagi magang dia, makanya nggak ikutan balapan akhir-akhir ini. Binder masuk pit. Nah ini baru starter di pit lane. Harusnya sih. Problem berarti motornya. Bukan magang, Oliver lagi ngajarin anak magang. Magang, sekarang dia belum praktek ya. Magang dulu nggak sih? Binder DNS kah? DNS? Suno start? Ini problem lah motornya. Ada yang salah sih pasti. Ya NPKTM.
There you can see on the left-hand side of your picture, Binder, the yellow flag was waving on the entrance to pit lane. So,
warm up.
At the moment, a non-starter in this restarted Grand Prix Malaysia.
Yeah, is it with his physical condition or is it a problem with the motorcycle?
Tidak ada cedera yang serius pada Jack Miller, aman guys. Tinggal ke medical center for full examination untuk pengecekan lebih dalam. Aman guys.
Yeah, apparently it's a shoulder issue for Brad Binder. Then Simon Crayfire just reporting from down.
Aman ini guys, nggak bakal ya. Panas gindang. Gindang itu bahasa dari mana guys? Gindang. Panas gindang. Bahasanya Mas Ade anjing gindang. Ya emang aman. Tinggal medical center aja buat cek lebih dalam lagi. Siapa tahu ususnya geser gitu kan. Lambungnya kebalik. Kalau lupa masang gula kayak tugas mampus.
I'm sure it's been drummed into him 9 million times about the fact that 9 points more than Bagnaia here today will be good enough.
Ini udah jalan-jalan dia.
Well, that is a sight to warm so many hearts because it is Jack Miller. These are live pictures, by the way. This is Jack Miller then walking back to the factory KTM garage. I think all of us
perfect. Kayaknya enggak deh. Telat banget lubang ini, bukan pakai Spotify now soalnya. Ini harus dicepet-cepetin nih. Tuh. Wah, harus aku cepet-cepetin tuh. Ini bukan di Spotify now soalnya. Lagi ada masalah sama Spotify now aku. Tai. Spotify now itu silit guys. Spotify now S-nya silit. Prediksi bang. Doni Tata, Sean Gelael sama Rio Haryanto. Semoga cenduannya Peko menang. Yes, yes. Harusnya aman sih ini. Harusnya aman sini. Harusnya aman sini. Yes, aman. Marquez set. Marquez set. Oke, aman semua. Marquez set. Wah, mati langsung ngejar nih, bro. Duel ini. Duel ini. Nggak bisa, nggak bisa. Aman. Nice. Aman, yes, we won. Let's go. Yeah, nggak bisa, nggak bisa, nggak bisa, nggak bisa. Hampir, hampir, hampir. Untung running hot. Gak bisa. Aduh, Quattaro kenapa jadi 7 gini ya?
He knows that if he wins this Malaysian Grand Prix and outscores Banyai by 9
Aduh.
points, it is the job done, the biggest job completed of his life. But it is Banyai though that leads.
Well, yes, we asked the question going into the race: would Pekka Banyai choose to slow the?
Allah.
Comes Martin once again on the inside of the reigning world champion. Banyai will get the run.
Bisa ini, masih bisa nih, masih bisa nih. Masih bisa ini, masih bisa ini. Ayo, stream. Chill. Yes, let's go. Anjir, masih bisa loh. Tai. Akhirnya ada battle begini. Yes. Peko di bos. Kalau udah jatuh berarti nunggu sprint, betul. Nunggu sprintnya. Cut back. Ya mampus. Gak bisa loh, Bisa ini. Marquez ini ngasih tendang enggak, maksudnya enggak apa? Ikut nimbrung nggak sih Marquez, guys? Mark gak mau ikut campur nih kayaknya. Mau gini Marquez. Awas yang jatuh. Oke, aman. Tanda akan protect kalian. Marquez harus clean ini, guys. Harus clean ini. Tapi susah juga sih, akselerasinya bagus soalnya. Martin tuh. Anjir. Cut back please. Oke, slipstream. Bisa slipstream. Yes, let's go. Wow. Ini dia sekalinya duel di akhir gini loh. Dia nggak di tiap race ya. Mereka berdua duelnya ya. Ambil nggak sih? Ambil. Yes. Let's go. Marquez bilek. Gua ngapain ya? Anjing. Cutback please. Ya, nggak bisa. Jangan kasih posisinya. Anjir. Aduh, tai susah ini bro. Bisa nih. Aduh. All or nothing, Peko. All or nothing. Come on. Come on.
Barnstormer in Sepang. Bagnaia now trying to get through into turn 9. There is no way through.
It's a bit of a tightrope though.
Aduh, aduh.
As he wants to get ahead of Jorge Martin, he cannot afford to have a crash with him. A crash that takes the
Kan disuruh bisa ke sana.
Jorge Martin here.
Well, you know what, full respect for Perez.
Marquez nonton aja. Ngapain ya?
To try and take the maximum points available.
Aduh.
There is your live championship.
Steve stream nggak sih abis ini?
Right now, doesn't it? As we just enjoy this stunning Sepang spectacle. How many overtakes have we seen Martin and Bagnaia exchange already in the first 3 laps of this Grand
Yo,
Prix?
stream.
Winding up the wick.
All or nothing loh.
Now to 6th gear. Bagnaia's got
Yes.
the inside line into turn 15.
Yes, stop. Ngelek tai, ngelek. Ngelek guys. Ah, udah aman. Anjir, oke, aman, chill.
Oh, look at the chatter. The pumping on the
Blok pas 15 lap nggak sih? Blok pas 15 lap.
hard on the brakes.
Blok pas 15 lap.
He almost runs into the back of Bagnaia through turn 2.
Kalau Martin jatuh semuanya mepet gimana jadi curang itu? Makin seru nggak sih? Pindah server, nggak ada server lagi. Maksudnya pindah ke server Arab?
Turn 4, Martin's on a lunge here 2 or 3 times already in this Grand Prix. This time around he's not close enough. Bagnaia goes defensive on the inside over the blind crest now into turn 5. What a first 3 laps this has been here in Malaysia already. A race.
Mark Bilek gue dulu juga pernah gitu tapi ketendang. Blok Sipang. Lihat Sipang guys. Gue dulu juga pernah gitu tapi ketendang. Goblok. Kurang gitu sih. Gak ada harapan guys ya none guys. Jangan jatuh. Oke, aman. Senin ini harus hati-hati nih. Gak ada harapan guys ya none. Terakhir kali pakai Ducati 7 tahun yang lalu, 8 tahun yang lalu ya kalau nggak salah. Terakhir dia pakai GP16 kan ya? Dia terakhir pakai Ducati. Yes, sekelebar. Tapi dia ngambil lane yang lain sih. Coba bisa ngejar nggak? Aman.
And we're nearly completed lap 4.
Yeah, this counts as the huge lead for Pecco Bagnaia based on the race we've seen so far, but it is not a big lead at all.
Oke, masih aman. Bisa nih ngejauh nih, dikit-dikit nih. Yes, Asus lap, let's go. Aman.
We hoped it will be a spectacle. We hoped it will be thrilling. We hoped it would be dramatic. It has been all of those, and just that little.
Asal jangan jatuh aja guys ini guys. Asal jangan jatuh aja nih Peko nih. Duel sikut-sikutan kalau perlu. Ya kejar nggak sih matinya guys? Masa Pekonya ngelambat guys? Masa balapan ngelambat guys? Matiin nggak sih yang ngejar? Ayo Mark bantu tim teman-teman. Gak bisa bro, berat bro, CP24 bro. Kalau clockwise masih bisa lah Marquez pasti. Ini bukan clockwise. Kalau anti clockwise Marquez pasti bisa ngelawan sih. Tapi ini masalahnya searah jarum jam guys. Susah Marquez ngejarnya. Mana karakternya stop and go gini. Banyaknya stop and go gini. Tapi kan lihat sih Sipang mulai aman 610 guys. Ini ambil sikut-sikutan di sini nih. Syah. Dari awal musim nggak pernah battle, giliran penentuan juara dunia mulai battle nih dua orang. Ya ini udah mulai boring nih. Overtake tuh Enea tuh kayaknya ke Morbi. Morbi ini biasanya nih ngalang-ngalangin orang yang lebih kenceng nih biasanya nih Morbi nih. Udah 2,2 jarang-jarang ke Marquez. Fastest lap lagi guys. Let's go. This is Peko bos. This is Peko. Sumpah ini Morbi ini kadang-kadang kayak babi cok. Kenceng enggak, lambat iya, bikin gap jauh iya. Bisa nih Peko, Peko. Nih bisa nyelap lagi nih. King Morbi ngalangin orang lain. Ya emang Morbi ini sering banget dia cok. Males banget Pak. Pokoknya lu kalau misalkan Jija di belakangnya Morbi, di belakangnya Binder, di belakang Miller tuh aku udah paling males tuh. Susah banget buat di overtake sumpah 3 orang itu. Paling males tuh kayak gitunya. Morbi juga sering banget susah buat di overtake. Kasian main ini kalau nggak ada battle nggak dikemakin. Ya nyalip, let's go. Morbi mana Morbi bos? King Mir crash? Ya udah biasa lah nggak sih? Udah nggak kaget lah. Another day, another crashing. Gak kaget lah guys. Hari ini Mir crash nggak kaget lah. Mir ya ini ya sektor 3. Oh iya. Bye bye Mir. Turn 9 lagi. Kira-kira Marquez bisa ngejar Martin gak ini? 0,5 guys jaraknya guys. Bisa nggak sih harusnya Marquez ngejar Martin nggak sih? 0,5 loh. Bisa ini bisa nih guys, bisa guys. Percaya sama aku guys. Bisa CT30 di sini. Tapi Martin pakai front medium guys. Ya moga aja bannya Martin kacau-kacau bagian softnya. Kata beku aja motornya ya motornya memak solo. Tapi ya lihat sih. Moga aja bisa. Selagi checkered flag belum berkibar, apapun bisa terjadi guys. Tapi setelah checkered flag juga masih ada ini sih tire pressure. Ya pokoknya selagi checkered flag belum berkibar, apapun bisa terjadi guys.
And you have to say once again, you just have to doff your cap to Marc Marquez, who once again is picking a fight with the GP24s. A fight really he has no right to be picking on that GP23. The GP24s in the hands of
Kalian ini kenapa guys? Kalian ini kayaknya terlalu ini guys. Terlalu personal ya sama King Morbi guys. Musim depan Morbi bisa menang guys pakai GP24 guys. Ya elah. Turn 9 lagi emang babi ini cowok. Turn 9 cowok. Emang babi sumpah. Turn 9 ini babi anjir. Marquez jatuh. Nah kalian sih bos-bosin Morbi sih sekarang kalian yang kena karma guys, bukan Morbi guys yang kena. Kalian juga kena karma anjir. Makanya jangan mabus-mabusin King Morbi kalian guys. Oh ya Marquez jatuh no. Last turn. Mana aku tadi bilang Marquez bisa ngejar Martin lagi. Masih bisa nyala lah sih.
Keeping that GP23 somehow in podium contention, but the pace once again on maybe slightly inferior machinery, just too hot to handle. Fun going into turn 15.
Karma buat kalian yang mampus-mampusin King Morbi jatuh. Kena sendiri kan kalian kan? Di belakang Morbi lagi sekarang. Marquez di belakangnya Morbi sekarang. 17 masih lama sih kayaknya. Selagi motornya nggak hancur-hancur parah, bisa poin 2 atau 3 gitu kayak kemarin, harusnya bisa. Tapi ini prediksiku bener sih, udah 1, 2, 3 sama Acosta.
He was half a second slower on the last lap. He's nearly 5 seconds back down the road from the race leader. So Martin now has plenty of empty tarmac behind him in that second place.
Yang reuni 17-18 emang reuni. Reuni apaan anjir? Kang Suduk Pesus. Kang Suduk habis. Ya lah. Terus. Jarko 9, Cok. Udah nih 1,2 guys sekarang ya guys. Kita menurun apa ya? Kita unboxing aja nggak sih guys? Unboxing guys. Anjir jaraknya jauh-jauh gitu Cok. Kita unboxing, oke? Gimana caranya aku bisa unboxing? Nggak bisa lagi. Oh bisa. Nah, kita unboxing guys. Kamu aja nyawa ya. Gara-gara market sih lah kan ya. Nggak ada yang battle lagi ini. Quattaro masih bisa P4 nggak sih ini? Oh bisa guys. Quattaro bisa P4. Sumpah Quattaro bisa P4. Percaya sama aku. Acosta, of course, 2 of the KTMs didn't start this second part of the Malaysian Grand Prix after that crash in the initial start. So all of their hopes really now hang on the shoulders of Pedro Acosta, and what a fine job he's doing, chasing Alex Marquez for that 4th place. Bisa P4 ini Quattaro.
This could be the first time all season we've seen a Japanese motorcycle finishing in the top 6 on a Grand Prix Sunday. Who else could it have been other than Fabio Quartararo?
Mapping tuh nggak tahu. Yang tahu strategi gitu biasanya timnya sendiri anjir. Kadang tuh setiap mapping tuh punya makna tersendiri setiap tim gitu loh. Jadi aman guys, tenang guys. Segini doang aman sih harusnya. Nggak kelihatan banget. Penggendong Honda guys. Ini aku tuh beli sunscreen, tapi kemasannya gede banget anjir. Cutterku mana ya?
He's running in 18th place. He's behind Morbidelli and Marquez, who are about to have a battle with each other for 16th place, both with pretty second-hand and damaged motorcycles after they've both gone down. Morbidelli at turn 9 and Marquez at turn 15. You know, at the moment doing 201s.
Kalau mapping 8 juga beda-beda. Dulu mapping 8 DJ kena mapping 8 malah ngovertake Peko kan, biasanya tim order gitu mapping 8. Beda-beda guys, setiap tim beda-beda. Sampean Jawa Timur tuh Sanis Kuloma udah ada Sunda-Sundanya ini. Kuloma Jawa Tengah mas, Sanis Jawa Timur kulo. Weh, duo Yamaha bro, duo Yamaha top 10 bro. Duo Yamaha top 10 nih bos. Ya musim lalu juga top 10 sih dua-duanya. Kemeresek. Parfum kah ini? Bukan, sunscreen. Aku beli sunscreen. Peko Martin 1,5, Martin Enea 5, Enea Alex 1,1. Aku buka aja lama dah, susah bro, dikira gampang buka beginian. Ya elang lebar pula dia. Kok kebuka dia?
As it stands right now, we'll put the number 23 Bastianini into 3rd place. Should Enea hang on.
Sunscreennya aku pakai. Kalau jerawatan parah tetap. Yang penting jerawatannya tuh apa ya, yang penting nggak mengandung bahan-bahan yang apa ya, yang penting sunscreennya cocok aja. Tapi kalau bisa sih ke dokter itunya sih, kalau bisa, supaya dapat penanganan yang tepat. Sponsor kah kan enggak? Emang ada ya di Alpha ya? Alpha bukannya cuman ini doang, cuman apa? Cuman sabunnya doang. Aku pakai cup, mukaku hancur. Berarti nggak cocok. Aku aman-aman aja sih pakai cup. Tapi yang di Alpha bukannya cuman itu ya? Cuman apa namanya? Cuman sabun cuci mukanya doang nggak sih? Kalian misalkan jerawatan terus pengen bener gitu, ke dokter aja tuh. Terlalu beresiko anjing kalau kalian lihat review-review doang. Soalnya kan setiap orang punya karakter mukanya masing-masing ya. Nggak selamanya sama. Aku waktu jerawatan parah juga ke dokter anjir. Udah nih. Peko wins. Loh, Quartararo-nya mana? Pas nanti deket dah. Yuh alah, udah bikin game. KMT 6 Quartararo. Dokter mana? Gua ke dokter Natasha. Ke Natasha guys dulu. Jerawatan parah nih. Sini kan kalau kalian lihat ini bopeng-bopeng sini nih, sini sama sini. Jerawatan parah banget dulu tuh waktu zaman-zaman Covid tuh. Sini sama sini. Langsung ke dokter, dikasih krim malam, krim pagi, cuci muka sama toner. Berapa dulu ya? 300 apa ya kalau nggak salah. Nggak sampai 500 lah, tenang aja. Ya akhirnya kita melihat overtake. Babi. Gak dapet loh. Ada Augusto Fernandes ya? Augusto Fernandes bos. Fighting buat top 10. Dapat sini easy, basicnya anjir, direct lurus. Lebar lagi. Iya. Di overtake balik. Race terakhir tetap ke Eropa kah? Tetap di Catalunya? Race terakhir. Apa bisa ke overlap? Kayaknya enggak deh. Coba kita lihat clipnya. Enggak ke overlap. Tapi emang deket sih. 0,1 doang. Ngapain ya? Guys, kita nggak boleh guys ngeluh ini ngantuk guys, nggak boleh guys. Ntar banyak yang bilang gini, ya udah kalian aja yang balapan gitu. Hihi, Rins nyalip. Oh enggak. Masih bisa seru nih, guys, masih ada overtake-overtakean ini. Tergantung sih. Oh iya, harusnya iya. Kalau Marquez 0 poin ya, bener-bener 0 poin ya, Beseki naik. Bastian ini nyalip Marquez. Ini masih bisa ada overtake ini guys. Kita nggak boleh ngeluh ini ngantuk guys. Ntar kita diserang sama warga-warga yang bilang kamu aja sana yang balapan, tinggal nikmatin aja sih gitu. Ntar ada tuh yang kayak gitu tuh. Ini mating jatuh real seru, lihat mulai. Bisa pas obat dari dokter gimana? Ya kan dokter tahu ya, dokter kan belajar, dia kan sekolah ya, dia kuliah ya. Ya pasti tahu lah obat yang pas buat pasiennya kayak gimana. Nggak dapet sini harusnya, ya kan? Overtake balik nggak sih? Oh bisa dong, berhasil dong block pasnya. Aku Zifriend top 10. Lumayan dapat battle guys, yang penting kita dapat battle guys.
just holding that gap over Martin, 2.1 seconds. There's a massive gap, a chasm back to the GP24 of Bastianini, who's 6.3 seconds further back. He has been nowhere
Ini
near the pace
Dija harusnya kesalip nih.
compared to Bagnaia.
Besok di race besok nih,
So far this weekend,
di race terakhir, Dija kayaknya bisa finish di 10 atau enggak 11 klasemennya. Yoi, race terakhir di Barcelona, betul. Harus nangis. Yuk, aku stop bisa yuk nyalip yuk. Supaya di jalan rada aman dikit 2 poin daripada Alex Marquez.
Pulled in at the end of the sighting lap. This means that Acosta, should he take the checker flag in the top 5, he'll be moving back into 5th place in the championship. Oh, big moment there. It would put him also, of course, as the top factory KTM rider in this year's World Championship.
Oh, you alluded to it a moment ago. One of the
Efek denger saran dari hari ini. Iyalah. Dulu tuh sempet aku puji loh, padahal loh mereka nayangin apa barisan yang di belakang lewat kotak yang di bawah kecil gitu, yang di bagian sini nih, kotak-kotak bagian sini nih, biasanya ada nih kotak sini gitu. Buat nayangin gitu waktu di Hansen Ring tuh. Malah setelah itu nggak ada tuh, setelah Asen ya udah nggak ada lagi tuh, udah nggak dipakai. Kayak F1, nah kalau F1 kan juga ada tuh kemarin, tapi di pojok atas yang bagian lap tuh kalau nggak salah apa ya. Ayolah Ban Peko Aus, apa nih Ban Peko Aus menang ini. Peko efek gantinya Valencia apa bang? Ini sentul
potentially a season
guys.
Circuit to Barcelona, Catalonia, where as it stands right now, it will be very, very much in the hands of Martin. At the end of this Grand Prix, 37 points left to fight for. 24 points will be the gap between Bagnaia and Martin. So for the very first time,
bisa lihat game, nggak bakal bisa. Peko udah nih Peko. Sedikit ancol kali yang dipakai Formula E ya.
Martin's running the harder front tire and he didn't do it for the start of the race, you know. He did it, you could see even in the fight how he was using it differently than Pecco, doing more of his braking upright because that tire is better at that.
Aman ini udah nih.
Less edge grip and see the difference there, but what I'm wondering is
lebar tadi itu dia. Di last corner.
Jorge would want should be one you know, and I'm sure Pecco is
Morbidelli udah poin anjir.
But like I said, Jorge did it for a reason. I'm wondering if this is the danger area for the softer option.
Kok Morbidelli udah poin sih? Perasaan tadi dia masih 16.
What will be the late race pace of Pecco Bagnaia's Michelin soft compound front tyre as opposed to
Marquez nih bisa ngejar Morbi lagi.
One of only 3 riders that started this Malaysian Grand Prix with the medium front. At the moment, well, on that last lap, the difference in lap times between the pair of them was nothing. It was exactly 1,000th of a second. A 2:00.501 from Bagnaia.
Udah nggak bakal ada battle sih. Ada nih aku Fernandez sama Bezeki.
In the end, it was only 2 that started the restarted race on that medium front.
Hari ini juga deket.
Was one of them. Luca Marini is the only other in the field who's on that medium front tire.
Acosta juga deket tapi belum bisa nyalip.
By the recovering Morbidelli and Marc Marquez, who are now fighting for a final.
Aman ini, aman.
Doesn't sound like much, does it? 15th place for the
aman guys. Masih aman ini Pecco. Baru 1,8 guys, tenang aja.
Hang on a little bit. Martin has found 3/10 of a second already on this.
Masih aman ini, masih aman. Masih aman ini, masih aman. Aman, kalau udah 0,5 lah baru. Kalau udah 0,5 lah baru.
Just making sure that he's managing the gap, managing the grip to make sure that he's not going to come under any late pressure from Jorge Martin. I was just getting a little bit excited there. Just maybe.
Tadi kasih tahu nih lewat pitboardnya nih. Martin 1,6. Habis itu Pecco nge-push.
Just as Simon
Waduh,
told us about
waduh,
the impact
waduh.
potential of Jorge Martin's better grip on that medium front. Now this
Waduh,
should
gara-gara
bring
medium frontnya
the
kan?
attention of the world champion.
Aduh, melebar lagi.
Through the final corner he goes.
I was about to say he needs 0.4 of a second a lap really to catch Bagnaia from there. That's
Waduh.
exactly what he's taken so far.
Waduh.
In the first 3 sectors across the line we go. He's taken
Waduh.
that second half. Bagnaia's pace drops up to a
Waduh.
2007, 2001 for Jorge Martin. Pekka
Waduh.
Bagnaia has shown in the past that generally if a rider starts to get to within around
6
a second
times
of him
lebih
or
kencang
under
loh.
that, he's prepared to up his pace again and
Waduh,
respond.
waduh, coba ngerespon nggak ini?
Over this next couple of laps, if Bagnaia has anything to respond with, or whether Martin just has the superior late grip here.
Gak bisa nyalip tuh Mar ini.
Is this just a deliberate ploy,
Gagal.
slacking off the pace,
Gagal.
just to make sure that he has got some front tyre life left for this amazing Grand Prix. There is the
Lumayan sih. Gak hancur-hancur banget sih.
front tyre which Pecco Bagnaia opted for.
Hancur nggak sih? Enggak kan?
Martin, just a quick reminder, is on the medium front. Now you can just see visually that gap has come down. It's 1.4 seconds. As Lewis mentioned,
Soalnya Peko pakai sos kan takut kayak Martin tahun kemarin pas ya terkait di Australia kemarin kan waktu itu memang truknya terlalu abrasif. Makanya hancur. Abrasif. Oh. Oke, yes. Aman, yes. Aman. Ini bisa 3 times lebih lambat sih harusnya. Aman, kan aku bilang Peko aman, guys, aman.
And he's getting his head down here, going for it, and he's just got a little bit too keen, a little bit too eager.
Hampir, hampir tuh 0 poin. Ya, mana nih yang bilang bakal ngejar? Mana yang bilang ngejar? 0,8 loh.
So Bagnaia will just be able to breathe slightly easier. You can still see how hard Bagnaia is pushing the front now, which is bruising that soft one because the rear tyre was off the ground and snaking around underneath him into turn 15.
Fokus.
That is the key message.
Udah, gak bakal nge-push lagi nih dia di kalap terakhir. Lebih baik nge-push lagi di Catalunya besok.
Relax, tranquilo, see the checkered flag.
20 points will do us just fine. Here's another look at the moment into turn 9. Bagnaia did respond though, to be fair to the defending
Taka kenapa? Oh ya turun ya Taka ya? Kepit ya dia? Ya problem paling.
Bagnaia had responded to that initial improvement and Martin in hot again there into turn 4.
Udah, habis. Habis.
Stop teasing us, Pecco, will you? Stop teasing us, mate.
Pecco ini guys, pertama guys, mana pedisku bener semua lagi. Iya anjir, bentar, aku Zifriend start ke berapa guys? Ya guys, aku Zifriend start berapa guys? Aku start tuh naik 8 ya. 5 kan dia, start posisi 13. Aku Zifriend kalau lebih naiknya lebih jadi 9 harusnya. Iya, Zifriend sih kalau 9 ya. Makanya it will be for 1 point, let's go. Jaraknya jauh loh, 1,5 apa ya? Oh deket cok. Bisa finish 13 Marquez. Marquez bisa finish 13. 26 ya. Mana tadi yang bilang Martin bisa ngejar, hah? Mana? Bentar lagi Marquez nyari Marini no. Enaknya giveaway. Salah sendiri jatuh. Makanya jangan jatuh. Fratelli d'Italia, sedesta. M8 udah nih, kita mau nurun apa guys? Ntar aku mau cari starting grid.
So supreme here in Sepang. We're struggling to get third place now. Bastianini in the same camera shot. He's a mile back, 7.3 seconds adrift. 2 seconds clear of Alex Marquez, who looks like he's done a pretty good job of covering up Pedro Acosta, who was threatening to snatch that 4th place, where Costa's back in the mid 201s. Alex Marquez is on course for a brace of 4 places here in Malaysia, by far one of his better Grand Prix of the season.
Agus Fernandes yang dapat. Agus Fernandes start 21, finish 10 guys, 11 posisi naiknya. Christopher Fernandes hanya yang dapat. Alah, bukan Acosta cuma 8. Telel mau. Main dapat TV dari Peko sekarang dari mana? Salah sendiri jatuh. Penyebut senang kalau denger lagu kebangsaan Italia. Enak tuh lagunya. Tapi sayangnya cuma sebentar doang. Nggak kayak di F1. Kalau di F1 lebih lama sampai akhir. Basicnya cuma naik 5 ya. Aku Fernandes ternyata sih dari 21, siapa sangka sih dari 21 finish 10.
Cruising towards his 10th Grand Prix win of the season.
Well, both of these title contenders deserve our respect, our admiration, not just for the level that they're riding at, but for the incredible entertainment they gave us in those first.
Anjing siapa sangka Gusto bisa 10. Dah poinnya sama anjir sekarang Marquez. Gara-gara nyali Marini. Poinnya sama Enea. Lumayan.
So Bagnaia, well, he has kept up his end of the bargain. He said it was must win. He said he was going to be aggressive, and boy was he true to his word. It was a memorable first 3 or 4 laps here in Malaysia. Once again on Sundays, he has been a cut above the rest. He's going to have won over 50% of the Grand Prix here in 2024. 10th win in 19, but is he going to...
Berarti penentuannya tinggal di sprint race, guys. Kalau di sprint race Peko ada di belakangnya Martin, harusnya aman sih Martin. Soalnya jaraknya ada 25. Harus ada di depannya Martin ini, Peko besok sprint. Nanti nonton kualifikasi F1 enggak aku tayangin, tapi nonton enggak live maksudnya. Last race penentuan judul sampai yang ketiga. Yoi.
Take a bow though, Pecco Bagnaia, because he has done everything within his powers to make sure that we do have a final race showdown. It has been a brilliant victory here.
Aman cuy.
Martin's going to lose 5 points in the championship, but his iron grip on glory in 2024.
Tinggal di sprint race Katarunya 2 minggu lagi. Moga aja di depannya Martin supaya asa tetap terjaga, walaupun agak berat ya tetap. Yes. Enea 3, Alex Marquez 4, Acosta 5, Quartararo 6. Marquez nyalip Alex terakhir-terakhiran. Gelo. Marquez memimpin 1 poin guys di posisi 3 guys.
First top 6 for a Japanese motorcycle on a Sunday Grand Prix goes the way of the absolutely brilliant
doang hujan.
Vinales, Rins, Bezzecchi and Augusto Fernandez were your top 10s. Good job that by Augusto Fernandez to find himself back inside the top 10. Marc Marquez picked himself up on the floor, crashed out of 3rd place at turn 15. He's 12th. Morbidelli was also a faller at turn 9. He did recover into the point scoring place as well in 14th place. But Bagnaia, as we said, kept up his end of the bargain. He does live to fight another
skill issue nggak sih? Nggak, ya namanya juga rider guys. Rider kan juga manusia ya, pasti punya kesalahan nggak sih? Pasti bisa bikin kesalahan nggak sih?
That he will be the Motogp World Champion in 2024 if he wins the final TISO sprint of the season. We could have
iya di Catalan.
Saturday decider.
Manusiawi guys. Mau rider itu pernah juara dunia 100 kali ya, tetap aja bisa ngelakuin kesalahan ya guys. Berarti kalau matiin menang sprintnya katanya dia juara ya. Soalnya jarak posisi pertama sama posisi kedua itu 3 poin. Posisi pertama 12, posisi 3 itu 9. Jadi Peko kalau di belakangnya matiin, di posisi kedua matiin pertama ya matiin Jurdun.
Unbelievable race, everybody rode very well and very clean. On the overtake was hard, but anyway, I think clean. So I'm really happy for both of them.
Padahal tinggal Sanmori doang di belakang Martin.
It was a hell of a show, wasn't it here?
Ya, selain kesalahan sendiri juga pasti ada faktor teknikal sih.
In many respects, the battle of the century, wasn't it, at times in Motogp, as the top two went toe to toe. They were rubbing, they were racing hard, but as Gigi Dell'Igna said, it was done with the utmost respect. That was a key mistake by Jorge Martin as he lost the lead going through turn 15 on the cutback though. He sees the initiative back from Bagnaia.
Apakah Pak Eta akan memasuk di balon terakhir di Catalan? Kayaknya enggak deh. Soalnya Aprilia motornya agak kenceng, nggak terlalu kenceng di corner speed lagi, nggak kayak dulu. Dulu dijagoin banget loh Aprilia di corner speed tuh. Tapi sekarang udah jelek katanya, nggak kencang-kencang banget. Habis ini 2 minggu, yui 2 minggu. Let's go. Easy. Bener kan? Kemarin aku bilang Peko bakal easy win, terus jatuh. Terus aku bilang Martin bakal win, Peko yang menang. Gelo. Reverse psikologi gini guys. Coba di live image-nya kalau Peko udah jatuh, di next aja Martin jatuh. Iya, biasanya gitu sih. Tapi udah enggak guys, udah aman.
Good result, second position, championship is good point for the last race.
Thank you, congratulations.
There is the magic 10. Pecco Bagnaia just reminding everybody that was his 10th win of the season. What a record that is. 10 wins, 14 podiums. He joined a very exclusive club in the modern 4-stroke Motogp era. And for a rider that's won 10 or more Grand Prix in a single season. Marc Marquez did it twice. Valentino Rossi twice. And Casey Stoner also twice. So only absolute icons, Marc Marquez, Valentino Rossi and Casey Stoner, have been in double figures winning tallies in the Premier class in the modern 4-stroke era. Pecco Bagnaia puts his name in that club. But is he going to see his name punted off the Tower of Champions?
Itu tinggal F1 guys.
They know that it was a big weekend. I think if you just said to Jorge Martin coming into this Malaysian Grand Prix, he'd win the sprint, he'd be second in the Grand Prix. He would have signed on Thursday night. And that is the equation. Those results see him 24 points clear in the Motogp World Championship. It is pretty clear Pecco Bagnaia has to somehow beat Jorge Martin in the TISO sprint. Bagnaia, well, today was must win. The sprint in Barcelona is must win. And what happened in the Catalan Grand Prix? He crashed on the last lap while leading the sprint.
DJ nonton nih.
Finished on the podium.
Di laptop.
Today, albeit a distant third, is Enea Bastianini. Let's get his reaction with Simon.
Enea, another third in Sepang. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, another third, but the sensation was like yesterday. I was not competitive on entry, and when it's like this, I have to set the race, and it's arrived at podium, and I can be happy, but not at the 100%. But we have other race in Barcelona in 2 weeks, and let's see what we can do.
Congratulations.
Say hello to all the people in Valencia, and that race is for everybody, that people, because need support, and I know that situation. It's happened also in Emilia Romagna, and nothing. One kiss for everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, sentiments echoed by the entire Motogp community. Our thoughts, of course, with all of those caught up in the tragic flooding in Valencia. But I suppose it's a little bit of a consolation prize for Bastianini. It's his 50th career podium here today in Sepang. Great show of respect once again between Bagnaia and Martin. All we can say is thank you, gentlemen, because those first 3 or 4 laps are why we fell in love and why we continue to love the Motogp World Championship, because it was hard, it was aggressive, but it was clean and fair racing at the end of the day. And Jorge Martin, when he flies home to Europe tonight,
panas banget lagi, mendung doang anjing, nggak hujan lagi. Hujan bentar doang coba.
He can be crowned world champion in the TSO sprint in our season. And let's get some thoughts as he takes in a big gulp of water. I'm sure they will take an intake of something stronger a little bit later on. Jorge Martin second here in Sepang, and he's with Simon.
Jorge, we knew Pecco was going to fight.
Ya boleh.
But we didn't know you were. I want to thank you for that entertainment. How was it, and how was that long race?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks to Pecco, because he's making this challenge more and more difficult. You know, I wanted to win, I wanted to be in the lead, but for sure Pecco had that strategy. I completely understood his strategy. He was quite aggressive. I was also. Yeah, we were making a good show for the first few laps, but then as soon as I went to, he overtook me. It was impossible to fight. At the end, I tried again to put some pressure, but I almost crashed. So I think getting 8 points from this weekend is unbelievable. We go to the final season, to the final race, a big challenge. So let's try to do the best.
Congratulations.
Coba aja kalau kemarin sprint nggak jatuh bakal lebih seru. Iya sih harusnya. Tapi ya udah takdir jatuh, guys.
Another giant strike. There was a few scares in there, weren't there? That was late on that turn on. That was lap 16, where he ran in hot. And I think at that stage he's probably giving himself a knock inside his helmet, going, "Boy, what you doing? Come on, let's not throw away."
Udah limit itu Martin ngejar Pecco. Nggak bisa.
As he said yesterday, didn't he? He was smart, he was clever, he was intelligent, and he's wearing the big smart because he knows that he is just one round and potentially one race away from taking the Motogp World Championship in 2024. With his crew, as he just mentioned, it's his 50th career podium.
Ada something good kah? Ada something good?
The former Moto2 World Champion. Nowhere near the pace though of Bagnaia and Martin, as he gracefully admitted at the end of that third place. You could hear the fans then.
Udah nggak ada ini ya. Udah nggak ada apa? Tire pressure. Di Lampung ada toko ngasih, tidak tahu, cek aja. Yang nggak seru itu kalau mak jatuh udah nggak ada tontonan, guys. Nggak juga sih. Tadi masih kok lumayan dikit. Ya mesti sih sebenarnya.
Thank you for that entertainment. Tell us about that fight and also how hard it was to manage in the heat late on.
Managing the heat was the easiest part today, honestly. Jorge was very aggressive. He was knowing that he needed to let me
10 kali P1. Tapi kebanyakan jatuh anjir.
On Sunday I can attack, I can be more aggressive. We just need to understand why on Saturdays I'm struggling more to do the same, but it's the 10th victory of the season. We are doing an incredible job. We just have to improve a bit on Saturdays.
Fantastic.
Iya, cuma dikit doang. Tapi ya tetap aja sih, Marquez juga kayaknya nggak bisa deh ngejar Martin. Mati di akhir kenceng banget. Kemarin aja susah kan Marquez ngejar di sprint. Pecco juga bilang motornya Marquez lambat. Emang beneran lambat. Nggak bisa ngejar.
Sprint Saturdays, as Bagnaia mentioned,
cuma bisa nonton doang kan tuh tadi.
The total of 8 DNFs have really hurt and hindered Bagnaia so far this season. I think he's given up, 60 points on Saturdays alone. And he now knows, well, it's always been pretty simple, the equation. He has to beat Hoy Martin. Well, he certainly has to finish ahead of Martin in the TSO sprint in Barcelona. Martinez, Celestino Vietti congratulating Pekka Bagnaia. Great job by the reigning world.
Lambi Racing ke sini ya? Gila.
Not going to give up the biggest prize without a big fight. And he does.
Ini yang tadi nggak sempet nonton awal-awalnya. Ini Miller nih.
The final Grand Prix of the season. Hoy Martin will be looking for a relaxed Sunday.
Oh, Binder yang hancur duluan ya.
Top 2 in that Malaysian Grand Prix. Will show their respects.
Iya, nonnya lagi.
With the Valencian flag throughout this Malaysian Grand Prix.
Binder ke Alex Marquez tuh.
Talking a lot about
Lepas tuh, Binder ke Alex Marquez ternyata. Habis itu nubruk ke Quartararo ke Miller. Oh, ternyata dari luarnya dulu. Jadi Bindernya dulu anjir. Enteng. Aku melihat Marquez overtake.
Which has a significant move in terms of the championship, because that pushed Marquez up to 12. Just shows how
Bentar, aku mau lihat.
Marquez, which has move coming in late on factory Aprilia rider Aleix Espargaro, which has a significant move.
Oh, dari luarnya lipnya. Kayaknya dari dalam.
Ero partito bene gara 1, gara 2 male.
Wow, che gara, Dio. Vai che è chiuso, io dico wow.
Questa però è la prima.
Sì.
Poi è andata bene.
Comunque la seconda è partito benissimo.
La seconda è più veloce subito.
Molto bene. Impossibile provare.
Questa è la seconda.
Vedi, a me mi ha strappato. Anche Marco veniva vicino, molto.
Sì, era dietro di te.
Molto vicino.
Io sapevo che all'inizio ci provavi, perché sapevo che era l'unico modo per tenermi dietro, ma quando ero davanti potevo frenare.
Sì. No, dietro di te una volta quasi ti... Yeppa.
Perché sul
dritto?
La parte finale.
Qua. Io allungo sempre qua.
L'ultimo pezzo non entra.
Sì. Vai, dopo dici no.
Sì.
Qua.
Ma qua hai frenato come un animale. Io il dietro tutto. Anche bene, Dio.
Questa alla fine non facevate fatica dentro?
Davanti e dietro. Anche questa è buona. Come l'anno scorso, Ho detto stavolta.
Io oggi quest'anno facevo fatica davanti, più dell'anno scorso. Qua
Ne juga nih.
Qua non riuscivo ad andare dentro.
Io pensavo che si ti chiudeva. Dico chiude, ciao, finita. Qua ya ce
Per te era meglio se si chiudeva.
Sì, 29 punti.
Per te era
Non
meglio
è che 24, non è che...
Io qua stavo andando forte.
Tumben lama banget ini, biasanya cepet.
Basta.
Ho visto alla fine.
Comunque
io...
è vero, quella curva se la fai piano
è peggio.
Lebar lagi.
Anche là non ero nella merda io.
Quanto giravi te alla fine?
Udahlah ya, aku end stream, aku udah ngantuk banget. Thank you guys yang sudah menemani menonton dari Moto2 tadi. Thank you yang udah subscribe, thank you yang udah nge-like. Thank you yang mungkin udah nge-share juga, yang udah subscribe semuanya, thank you. See you 2 minggu lagi di GATERON-nya, oke? Yang mau join Discord ada di Discord di bawah, ada yang join broadcast juga ada, broadcast IG. Kadang aku ngomong-ngomong sesuatu di broadcast. Iya, tahu. See you 2 minggu lagi, oke? Bye bye.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that epic show. Thank you once again to an incredible Sepang International Circuit crowd.